the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. Yes. Welcome to your Friday.
It's like when you step into the warm shower. It's like you just let cascade over you. Just
Yeah.
do that thing where you like move your shoulders to like let it just get in all the nooks and crannies. Just let the Friday just bathe over you.
Drink it in.
It always goes down smooth.
That's right. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Friday thus far.
Yeah,
We are, because McDonald's
in the house.
Yeah, big thank you. It is Friday. That is our McDonald's Friday.
Yes.
You know what Old Hard R brought in today?
I was wondering. Are we just like he's like a McDonald's fairy? He just like sprinkles Mickey D's all over the
A
studios.
sommelier of McDonald's,
Huh?
I would say. And yeah, these are those the pull-apart donuts.
Oh yeah, the 6-piece. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what those are.
Nice.
So, I'm not aware of them. I just learned of them this morning.
I just saw them on the menu a couple days ago.
Okay.
I was like, well, that looks new and delicious.
Tanner brought some.
Nice.
So
Hard R coming through in a pinch. And got to give props to Mickey D's because they gave me some biscuits and gravy, small style, flipped over with the green chili.
Ooh, green chili and gravy.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
Only halfway
they
there,
are
but-
still doing the green chili on all the breakfast items.
Absolutely.
So I believe I think Tanner got the mayor because we took orders yesterday. He wanted because normally the mayor goes with the sunrise burritos. The usually you get them they come in twos.
Well,
usually.
not the sausage and egg burritos. The standard.
I thought they
breakfast
called them
burrito.
sunrise.
The sunrise ones were the hatch ones that used to come with the full hash brown inside.
Oh, I thought those were called. I thought they just called them hatch green chili
They
burritos.
don't do those. I miss those.
Yeah. Dang. I thought those were just called hatch. Well, anyway, the ones that come in usually in pairs.
Yeah.
Usually because you eat one and then you want a second one. I think if you order them as a meal, they come two, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. But anyway, normally that's the mayor's, but he said he wanted to change it up and go original with the Egg McMuffin. I said,
Wow.
did you know the green chili? And so I think he will have his first, unless he is pulling a rope-a-dope on us here. I think this will be his first green chili McDonald's experience. So,
Nice.
But anyway, speaking of the mayor, he will join us here about 7:35 to recap last night's city council meeting. Matter of fact, you know what? We're going to call it Elected Official Friday.
Ooh.
How do you like
Dang,
that?
we got a theme going.
Yeah, because we have that theme today with Mayor Dennis Kentai joining us to recap City Council here at 7:35. Next hour, about 8:15, Sheriff Mike Harrington will drop by and give us an update on what's happening through the Chaves County Sheriff's Department and what else is happening around the county. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Congresswoman Yvette Harrell will be calling in and we'll chit-chat. Of course, she was just in Alamogordo a few days ago at Holloman Air Force Base, checking things out for the Afghan refugees that are there. So we'll probably talk to her about that. I know they're talking a lot about vaccines and that. What's that stuff? The medicine you get at the.
We don't say the name of it.
I can't remember the name of it.
Ivermectin.
Yeah, that one. When you get at the pet stores and all of that. So
What did somebody call it? Farm paste. Yeah.
I just, this is my opinion. I mean, I know people do your thing, and I know I didn't grow up in the farm and ranch world, so dealing with livestock and doing those kind of things are not something I'm used to or comfortable with.
Yeah.
So my brain has always been like, no, I'm not going to a pet store to buy things to put in my body.
Right.
It just it don't seem kosher to me.
I wouldn't think so. No.
Yeah.
No.
But that being said, I didn't grow up on a ranch administering to animals and doing all that kind of stuff. And no, I don't have that knowledge.
Right.
So,
Now, look,
people do what you're going to do. But my opinion is, listen to the people that actually go to medical school and do all this stuff to
Here's the
decide when
thing.
you just start putting things in your body, especially things that are meant for horses.
Right.
And
There's
cattle.
human versions of it, human doses.
Yeah, I don't know the difference.
Right.
And I'm
the
sure,
difference is that you get it prescribed from a doctor.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I love Paul's Vet Supply and all that. I'm not going there for my own personal medicine.
That guy in there. I mean, maybe he's there for the ivermectin. Who knows?
I get you. I hear you. But, I mean, again, you do you. This is my opinion. So, but anyway, we'll talk with Carlin in a bit, Harold.
Dang, I was different energy than I was going to bring this morning, but all right.
So we'll chit chat about all of that here this morning. Plus, we'll do all of our features and chit chat. And but the message and all that there, go to McDonald's.
Absolutely.
That was the message. Go to McDonald's, get you some breakfast.
Don't say nay to a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
That's right.
2 locations in Roswell, 1 in Artesia, of course, the Carlsbad locations, and they are on the hire.
That's right.
So if you're looking for work, they are looking for you. mchire.com.
That's right. When I feel better, I don't take veterinary medicines. I go to McDonald's.
That's right. What I do, I take a hash brown, smear that all over my belly. It's a topical rub.
He's got 6 weeks to live. But that's
I do.
another story altogether.
That's something else entirely.
Nothing to do with that.
And fun fact, you can actually see yourself in my belly. So there's that.
But big thank you to McDonald's.
Absolutely.
Swing on by any of the 2 current McDonald's ready to serve you here in Roswell. South Main, it's cranking along there. They're going along. But they are hiring, like Sean said, for all locations, including the one that is soon to be completed on the south end. mchire.com.
That's it.
Yeah, boy. I can't help it. I just cannot help in my head.
It's your boy, MC Hire.
Yeah. Sorry, Cowboys fans.
I'm not.
They lost last night.
I know. I'm not.
And this is why I hate drafting Dallas Cowboys
I will
players.
say this. I made the mistake last night. So I actually got a chance to meet one of Jazz's friends yesterday, but we decided to have dinner at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh.
And that was a bad idea.
Well, everybody
In the
is
midst
at
of football
B-dubs
game.
watching football. Yeah.
People get a little loud.
Well, there's probably mostly Cowboys fans.
You know,
Yeah.
you're not that wrong.
I would think. It's Cowboy dominated.
And it's real hard to be like, I don't want to root for Tom Brady, but,
And they were all mad, I'm sure.
You mad, bro?
Well, all I know is I do this every time. I draft a Cowboy in the fantasy football.
Was he your first?
Yeah.
Oh,
because
did you draft Dak?
no,
Okay.
Zeke.
Really?
I drafted Zeke. I had the number 2 pick, and I took Zeke Elliott. I was thinking, hey, he's going to get me some points. You know how many got me last night? 3.
Oh.
My big round, first round draft pick, big gun, 3 points. I do that. Why do I?
It's still
Why do I
early
let
in the
you people?
season, Michael.
Why do I let all these Cowboys fans seep in my head thinking I've got? Oh yeah, he'll be good every time.
You know why?
Yeah.
It's because you're knee deep in it.
Yeah.
Because you live in this realm.
Oh, I don't. I really don't. Not like I used to.
No, but I mean, I'm sure this is why I do the Cowboys promos, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to get bathed in it. No, I totally understand. But yeah, no, it's still early in the season.
Yeah.
Now, granted, how the rest of your picks do?
Oh, that was my only one.
Oh, it was your only Cowboy?
Because we only had one game, or the one game.
You didn't bother to pick any Bucks?
No,
I'm
I didn't have any
surprised.
bucks on
No?
this.
No
year.
Gronk?
Actually, yes, but he's
Really?
not my backup. He's my backup tight
okay.
end. Yeah, my main tight end is not Gronk. 4 years ago, yes, it would have been Gronk. Not so much.
Yeah, it
now.
makes sense. Totally makes sense. It's a good 1-2 punch, but he knows his strengths.
But I might need him 1 week here unless my other tight end gets hurt here. Mm-hmm. Although my other tight end I don't know a whole lot about either because I just went and saw, he averages about 8 points a game. I'll take that guy. I'm like, I don't know. Tight ends.
It's actually Clayton Thompson. He works up at the Home Depot. Weird pick, Mike. I got to admit.
Very tight end.
Yeah, very tight end. Just about a quarter.
But yeah, so my apologies, Cowboys fans. Although I will say, the Cowboys fans I did know, they all thought they were going to get killed yesterday.
Yeah.
They didn't.
They
hung in there.
No, not one person lost their life last night, and that can be said. Absolutely. Way to look at things on the positive side of things, Mike.
There you go.
Nobody died.
Yeah. And thank you, Zeke, for those 3 points. 7:15. Let's take a look at that weather. Spoiler alert, more hot on the way.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have high pressure set up over central New Mexico, and that means warm temperatures and sunny skies for us today. A little bit breezy, especially in the afternoon, and our high temperature should be around 100. Overnight will be clear and low 60s, and then around 100 again tomorrow, breezy in the afternoon and sunny, mid-90s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 64 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. As Steve mentioned, the hot does continue. Expect highs officially near the century mark. They say 99 today, but probably going to be 100. So brace for that. South winds today 5 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, skies will be mostly clear. Expect an overnight low of 65 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. For you Saturday, not much cooler. Matter of fact, about the same. Sunny, once again, highs right there near the century mark tomorrow, 99 officially. South winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 10 to 15 for tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 65. South winds 5 to 15. Can I say a respite Sunday? No, but at least it won't be 100. 95 and sunny on Sunday with south winds 5 to 15. That'll be a good day to suck up some AC and watch NFL football, sounds like.
What's NFL football?
I don't know. I saw the game last night, or at least part of the game. I had meetings last night, but so did you, obviously. But I did see catch at the end of the last quarter of the Cowboys game. So hot on Sunday, and then Monday, we're going to be in the about 94 on Monday, and looks like mid-90s for Tuesday and a good hunk of next week there. So that's kind of the deal, but hot 100 all across the board. Did you get the green chili?
Yes.
What do you think?
I love it.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice little, you never think about it because you just eat McDonald's and that's the way it is, but then you're like, oh, yeah, you know what? The green chili does kind of zing it up a little bit.
It does.
Yeah. So give it a try. Go take any of your McDonald's favorites. They say any breakfast item, they'll add green chili. I'm sure there's certain items you probably don't want to add green chili, but you could.
Milkshake?
That's what I'm thinking. Something
like that. Well,
maybe your mochas or some of your pastries you probably don't want green chili on.
Bless you, Nick Snowberger, wherever you are.
Absolutely. It is 7:18. Let's take a quick commercial break. We're going to let the mayor eat his sandwich here, and we'll chit-chat a little bit before we officially bring the mayor on so he has time to eat and all that stuff. He comes in early to eat, so we don't want to, just let him digest. Let the green chili go down properly and everything. So 7:19, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Almost everybody knows the Bible story of David and Goliath. Usually we tend to focus on a couple of things within that story, such as the size of the giant and the courage of David. I wonder if we lose sight, though, of the most important figure in that story. Behind the scenes is David's God, a God who empowers and a God who brings victory. Most of us have some giants that need to be conquered in our own lives. Some of these giants have shown up out of nowhere to test us, maybe even taunt us. Some of our giants we've created by our own mistakes and sin. One important lesson from David's story is that the giant really doesn't matter, but God does. So we face our giants with courage and strength, not because of our might, but because of God's. We stand tall, knowing that victory will come with God, and that we will one day see that giant slain at our feet. This calls us to do two things. We've got to show up for the battle, and then we need to look up for victory. Our goal at Country Club Road is to help people conquer their giants.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell. Did you know that most burglaries occur during the day? Why, you ask? Most of us are at work, leaving the burglar to go unnoticed. Did you know the average loss from a home burglary is over $2,200? Not including one's loss of emotional security in their own home. Avoid being a burglar's target market and get a monitored security system from Zenith Security Services, all for around $1 a day. Wouldn't you agree that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? Call Zenith Security Services today, 626-3521.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
Your Goddard Rockets are taking the fight to the road. This Friday night, your Rockets travel to El Paso to take on the Golden Panthers of Austin High. Fiera 106.1 FM is the place to catch the audio-only broadcast of the game.
Got it! Boom! Diego blue!
Save yourself the gas mileage and the headaches, and tune in as your Goddard Rockets take on the Golden Panthers of Austin High. Friday night at 7 on Fiera 106.1 FM. Southeastern New Mexico's Sports Authority.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock. Hey, don't forget, we got football aplenty tonight. It is Football Friday. We will have 2 of our 3 schools we cover available on radio and video. Unfortunately, Goddard football will just be on the radio tonight as they travel to El Paso. We only have permission to call the game for radio. We don't have permission to set up our video and all that stuff. And to be honest, I don't know if we have the manpower. In all fairness, but so we're gonna have a gentleman from Cruces. Actually, he's gonna be calling the game for us. I'm gonna get him on the radio and everything tonight. So, Got It Rocket Football you can catch and listen to on the radio on our sister station 106.1 FM. Fiero coverage for that game, pregame roughly around 6:45 or so, kickoff scheduled about 7 p.m. tonight. Coyotes will have their game for you right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Also, you can watch live streaming video of that game at ksvptv.com. Just click on the mornings. You can click on that one. It won't get you to the game. Click on the Roswell Coyote channel, and that will take you to where you need to go. By the way, normally for Goddard, you can catch that there. And then, of course, Artesia Bulldog fans will have their broadcast on our sister station, 990 AM, KSVP in Artesia, and the FM translator, 93.7. My apologies. You probably won't be able to pick those up via radio here in Roswell. They're Artesia stations. However, you can catch them online, ksvptv.com. You can watch the game. You can even listen to it if you want to paint your own visual picture and listen to the announcers. Just download the KSVP app and listen to it that way as well, too. But we'll have all the games for you live and on demand, except for Goddard, just radio only tonight, beginning about 6:45 or so. So we'll have it for you all through the season here. So as long as we can. The COVID world is kind of where we can go video, or like anything that's local home, we're pretty carte blanche, okay. Even like Carlsbad's working with us and Hobbs and things. But if we go outside of that little bubbles, Albuquerque, it's a no-go. Cruces, yeah, we've got a little cooperation there. Certainly anything outside the state, El Paso area, that was a no-go. And a Four Corners area, I don't think we've had much luck there, but they're a little, and that's not because they won't let us. They just sometimes don't have room. I mean, they have some smaller press boxes and a lot of rabid fans in the Four Corners area, and sometimes there's just not room. We're like, oh yeah, you can come, but you got to put you on the roof or out in the quick stop up the street to stand on that roof, and you can film from there. You know, they do that kind of stuff to us, but it's kind of but we're gonna have all that, and I think. We look at the schedules. I don't think we're going to have many problems as far as video from here on out. I think the El Paso game was one. There might be one or two more that we got to run into before the season ends. But for the most part, we should have video. Again, for regular season, we've never had video rights for playoffs. Occasionally during football, especially the first round or two, quarterfinals, maybe even a semifinal game, they'll let us film if they don't have the people to go film them, but no guarantees on those. So, but we'll have the video and everything for the rest of the regular season. It is 7:26. Let's go ahead and pause for news. Let's pause for also your Kim Commando update and your Chavez County sports update. We're going to do all those three, so about 4 minutes, and then on the other side, we're going to have Mayor Dennis Kentai join us, and we'll recap the 4 hour and
38
minute. Put it this way.
It is 6 hours.
It's 6 hours. Put it this way. He got done this morning.
I got done this morning.
It was after midnight.
It was after midnight.
So he's about, how many cups of coffee have you had?
I only had 2 so far.
I haven't seen you drink any. I've just been seeing you drink tea. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure. This is Roswell, right?
Yes. Well, maybe the green chili be percolating here in a little bit.
All right.
But we're going to talk with Mayor here in just a few. We'll be back on the other side of news, sports, and Kim Commando. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update. I'm Jared Cirillo. First off, the city of Roswell looking forward to making the next UFO festival better than ever. And the planning begins now. The city calling on all citizens, from business owners to community service organization representatives to government leaders to every other resident, to take part in the discussion of ideas and aspirations at a community meeting to kick off the planning process for the 2022 UFO Festival. The meeting will take place Wednesday, the 15th at 5:30 p.m. at the Roswell Convention Center. A message on the Artesia Police Facebook page says the animal shelter has been closed. There are no drop-offs available, and pickups must be arranged with animal control officers by calling dispatch at 616-7155. No adoptions are available right now. Artesia Police say they'll post more information as it becomes available and when the shelter reopens. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Yesterday, Facebook and Ray-Ban unveiled a new product that, well, no one was clamoring for, at least not yet. It's the Facebook Ray-Ban sunglasses with, wait for it, a secret camera hidden inside. As the Wall Street Journal asked, are they creepy or cool? I'm Kim Commando with the specs, brought to you by SimpliSafe. Check out their brand new wireless outdoor security camera today at simplysafekim.com. Until now, glasses with built-in cameras have turned out to be big, fat nothings. Remember Google Glass and Snapchat spectacles? Nobody wanted them. So now, Facebook and Ray-Ban have teamed up to bring us new sunglasses that allow viewers to sulk around, taking up to 30 seconds of video without anyone knowing. The glasses look like the ones worn by Tom Cruise in Risky Business. For $300, you get the glasses, a leather-like hard shell case that doubles as a recharger, 2 5-megapixel cameras, a 3-microphone array, and 4 gigs of storage. And probably a lot of angry, soon-to-be former friends. Get breaking tech news at commando.com. Going online without ExpressVPN is like using your smartphone without a protective case. Most of the time, you're fine, but all it takes is one drop to make you wish you had protected it yourself. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network, your online data is not secured. A hacker on the same network can steal your personal data. It doesn't take much technical knowledge to hack someone. A smart 12-year-old could do it. And your data is valuable. Hackers can make thousands per person selling personal info on the dark web. ExpressVPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet, so your data can't be stolen. And it's so easy to use. Fire up the app, Click one button and you're protected. It works on all devices, phones, laptops, tablets, and more. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, and you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/Kim.
It's time for the Southeastern New Mexico Sports Report. Got some good games going on tonight in football action. We don't have a huge amount of them, but Carlsbad at home against El Paso Coronado. Carlsbad's 1-1. Their game last week was canceled because of COVID, and El Paso Coronado 0-2. Meanwhile, Goddard is playing in El Paso against El Paso Austin. Both the Rockets and Austin are 2-0 on the season. Deming is the host for the Artesia Bulldogs tonight. Artesia's 2-1 after beating Belen 21-7. Deming last week lost to Goddard 49-6. And Roswell at home 0-3, looking for their first victory against a stout Los Lunas team. Los Lunas is 3-0. Roswell last week narrowly lost to Hobbs 14-0. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at 92.9. The brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
It is a sound way to do that. Like it's the guy that keeps, the wimpy thing. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today, guy.
There's only about 14 people out there that know what you're talking about.
Probably. I thought maybe someone would catch the Popeye movie in the 90s, or they caught that with Robin Williams. But anyway, that is handy. I mean, if someone keeps borrowing, sure, here's $5, and you hand it to him in a sack of pennies, he's probably not going to borrow money from you anymore.
Yeah, buddy.
It's not a bad move, just saying. It is 32 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, he is watered and fed, a little bleary-eyed. Mayor Dennis
A little?
Oh, my God. Mayor Dennis Kentai back with us. Morning.
All right. I earned my pay last night. I got like 42 cents an hour.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Take the morning off.
Don't get me started.
Well, for folks that don't know, last night was City Council, and apparently it took a while to get through the agenda last night.
It did take us a while. 6 hours and 38 minutes, new record for my tenure as mayor.
I'm trying to think. I know you guys went up to midnight before.
Yeah,
but
we went just past once before.
Yeah, I don't think many times.
Yeah, this is till 12:38.
And that was another one that was something to do with elections or something that was a lot going on. I don't remember, too.
We had a lot on the agenda. Just a real quick, at the beginning, I get to make some announcements, and there's two I'd like to reiterate again. One, it's kind of an in-the-weeds thing, but it is a huge deal. We have gotten, in the last 2 weeks, from the FAA, written confirmation that they no longer have an interest in or control over, they've released completely the old municipal airport from FAA oversight. What am I talking about? So in 1968, when the Air Center's, Roswell Airport's operations moved from what was the old Air Center, which is way out there in Ciolo Grande, to what used to be Walker Air Force, where it is now. At that time, the old space that was the old municipal airport stayed under FAA oversight because there had been grants and funds from the FAA in the 40s and 50s. To release that to the city with no FAA oversight, we had to go through a process that was initiated about 2.5 years ago. It was done by Mr. Juan Fuentes, Director of Administrative Services. And the long story short is that we got that in the last couple weeks, that official authorization.
Okay.
So that was a huge deal, and my hat's off to Mr. Fuentes.
So does that relinquish any restrictions that may have been in place on anything we could do with that parcel of land until that happened? Or
basically, yes.
Yeah.
And what it meant is that if we have revenue from sale of that land, we got 600 acres over there. If we were to sell off any of that property for a developer, that money had to go into the airport fund.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not into the fund that we use for streets.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Just because like you said, the grants and everything, the way that land was.
So that was the huge deal. Plus, you had to get blessing from FAA. The other thing is a reiteration from last month. I know it's all over the news, and some people may or may not be happy with this. The city of Roswell does not require employees to be vaccinated.
Correct.
We will not require employees to be vaccinated. So, folks, if you have any friends up in the Albuquerque area working for the city of Albuquerque or the state of New Mexico that are concerned about being required, we are hiring. So check out the website.
There you go. Roswell-nm.gov.
Then we're off to the races. Okay, we had two presentations that consumed an hour and a half. The first one was an overview on the Chamber of Commerce, and you're part of that board.
Yeah.
And the long story short is a few years ago there was a kind of a meltdown at the Chamber. There were some issues about mismanagement. There was a huge change in leadership there. The city had been a financial contributor and member of the Chamber. That was terminated not by the city, but by the previous director, because it's time we wanted to do an audit, and rather than do the audit, the relationship was terminated. Eventually, we did have an audit done. Unfortunately, because of very poor records, there's lots of holes there. The new leadership, Andrea Moore is the executive director. Nick Snowberger is the president, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And the chamber is moving forward.
Yeah.
We will see where we go. Eventually, it's going to be an issue between the board of directors and the city council, whether there becomes a relationship again. We'll take it one step at a time. Nobody's in a big rush, and in any case, we will be working collaboratively.
Nice. But as far as this stuff, we're kind of there, and now we're moving forward from there.
Yeah.
Is that where we're at now?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The next thing up there was another presentation, took over 45 minutes, dealing with what is referred to as clean and safe and property management. After I was elected in 2014, I was a big advocate of making it a priority to clean up derelict structures. This was something I knew firsthand from my law enforcement days. Basically, nothing good happens in derelict structures. Nothing. And it's hard on the neighbors, on the community, and the whole city suffers. So what happened is we started a line item, and we started a program whereby if you, as a property owner, want to get rid of your derelict structure, we would not charge you to dump it at the landfill. So we did that for a number of years. We've actually suspended that for a couple of years because we're hurrying up and finishing off cell 5A, getting that built before cell 4 gets full. But that's another discussion. That was a glitch, unrelated. Well, not unrelated, but
weather and COVID. There was a lot of variables that kind of messed with the timing on that one. Yeah.
But we also became very aggressive in using funds to clean up. And I don't have the final total number, but we are in the hundreds of structures that have been removed. We still have many more to go, and that's a sad reality. In some places, property owners have torn down structures and replaced them with wonderful new facilities. We'd like to see and encourage more of that. So that's the effort, to try and encourage the development of these empty lots where there previously had been derelict structures. So that's the ongoing. It was a good discussion, but it like I said, it was 7:36 before we got to our first quote real agenda item, and that was consent stuff. We would have had something like 13 items, 11 items on the consent agenda. Councilor Orpesa, as his prerogative, pulled 7 off.
Okay, so about half got pulled down.
Yeah, over half. We only had 4 left. So that is where we began. That took us about 45 minutes to march through that. Those were acquisitions of things like some asphalt for hot recycling or other items. One of the interesting little tidbits is, and I know this is near and dear to many people's hearts, we approved the award for a mill and fill project. A number of them. One of the ones that will get people's attention is North Washington, or Washington, not North Washington, South Washington, between McGaffey and Alameda. It will be a mill and fill.
Okay.
So that will be rebuilt. That's a big deal. Washington is a lot of concern to a lot of people. We'll be doing some hot recycling. So there's going to be some pavement works on Washington.
Okay.
We also looked at some software. We have to sign agreements to subscribe to software that we use for like our dispatch, for our folks over at the. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm a little slow this morning. Any kind of maintenance stuff that we have, so it becomes a work order type program. All right. Those are now above the threshold for the city manager to authorize.
Okay.
He has a $60,000 threshold.
Okay.
Well, now these are up to over 70.
Okay.
It's an annual housekeeping thing.
So that's basically preventing to have him go to see you guys every time one of these need to up to that number.
Yeah,
basically.
and so now we're into it. So we got going and rocking and rolling. 8 o'clock, I took our first break. First
of many.
First of 3. So we took a break, came back, and we got into the heavy lifting. All right. First thing up was the infrastructure capital improvement plan. This is where we come up with a list of all the projects we want. Now, there's 2 parts to this. Mm-hmm. One is, what are all the projects we want to do? Because you have to have a list that you report to the state that you use. And the purpose of that is that it has to be on the list to be able to qualify for any funding involving the state.
Yeah.
Grants, loans, etc. Now, there's a few items that say like the top 5 that the legislators take a look at because they get funding during the session to fund these projects rather than having the city pay for them.
Sure.
We've done it a number of different ways. It's very difficult. There's 10 counselors. What's the priority? And we bogged down last night, and the end result is we punted on this one. So we are going to have a special council meeting on only this Tuesday at 5:30.
Okay.
The motion to postpone was made by Councilor Roebuck. The final vote was 6-3 with Perry, Stubbs, and Sanchez voting no.
Okay.
By the way, Councilor Lopez was not there. He had a family member had a medical issue, so
hope everything's okay there.
Yeah, we're hopeful too.
Yeah.
All right, so we had 9 counselors, so there's no way in heck that I was going to vote last night.
Yeah, can't have a tie with 9 counselors.
No, I can't have a tie.
Unless there's some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, that's for sure. And there was weird stuff going. So we got into cannabis. And the first of 2 items dealing with marijuana. First one up was a fee schedule. This is murky area we're trying to move into, and we had a hiccup here. One thing was the way the resolution was written really didn't conform with the right format. Mm-hmm. And so I forced a break so that the changes could be written out and there'd be no confusion among the city clerk, the city attorney, or the city manager on what the new wording would be. So we took a break. That's our second one. It was only like an hour after the first one, but we took a second break. Came back, approved the resolution. We had a couple counselors that are not in favor of anything at all. That's Moore and Sanchez. Then Councilor Moore proposed a fee increases. There was a 20% fee increase. We had a debate about that. And the end result is that we did pass that. So 6-3. Once again, the final resolution passed 7-2. We spent 45 minutes on that one. Part of the challenge is we are still unsure what the state is going to do.
Right.
We still don't know if what we've established is reasonable on the state size or not. And this is the huge frustration I have with the governor and her cronies who rushed through this whole recreational marijuana program. They did it in a special city council, special legislative session, allowed zero amendment, didn't deal with the problems that were obvious in the legislation. And so we're kind of in a difficult position. We're moving forward as best we can to be reasonable in our regulations so that we maximize the protection for citizens of this community and are within the intentions of the state, with the understanding that this is still a violation of federal law.
Right.
So this was tied to a second item a little further down that dealt with the authorization to advertise for amendments to the marijuana ordinance, which we had passed last month. This is amendment package number 1 because we weren't trying to overwhelm the whole thing. So that worked on.
I don't want to get into a whole can of worms here, but I'm just curious because, like you said, at the end of the day, the marijuana stuff is still illegal in the feds' eyes here.
And in Texas.
What happens if the feds just one day had a wild hair and said, you know what, we're going to crack down on all this stuff.
Yep.
And instead of letting the states, I mean, is the state offering any kind of protection? Because let's face it, if I'm a business owner and I start a pot business here, everything within legal according to state statute, and then I got the feds trying to close me down, I would think I should be able to turn to the state and say, look, you granted me, I'm greenlit here, help me defend against this. But I don't think any of that's going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. The state's not going to. Here's another one for you. This whole medical marijuana. This is one I've been waiting for a couple of years now. Somebody gets medical marijuana, has a bad experience. Whatever it is, who can tell? Bad reaction. Well, where's the lawsuit for medical malpractice? Because once again, marijuana or any of its offshoots have not been approved by the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, for medical use. This is not a lawful substance to be sold for medical purposes. There's nothing that is authorized under federal regulation, and that's who regulates the whole pharmaceutical medical treatment field. So some attorney out there is going to find a client's going to go to an attorney, and somebody's going to make a ton of money. Now, who are they going to make the money from? Well, they're going to sue the medical pot distributor. They're going to sue the doctor who, quote, gave them the get-out-of-jail-free card, because it's not really a prescription. In other words, when you get marijuana for medical purposes, you don't get a prescription. You get told, well, you can have some, but, whatever.
Yeah.
So there's no dosages.
That's true. You buy whatever you want, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and then so they're going to sue also the state. And I'm hopeful they don't sue the city because we've had no say in this. But they will go after the deep pockets. You know who the deep pockets are? State of New Mexico.
Yeah.
So, this is going to happen at some point. Fully legal, fully vetted medical treatments have been successfully sued. And these companies have paid out billions of dollars. We can look at OxyContin, the whole the whole opioid issue. Those are medications that were approved and prescribed, and they are turning out a gazillion dollars. What do you think is going to happen with marijuana?
Sure,
this is going to be the next cash cow for medical malpractice attorneys. And you know what? Go out there, some young attorney who wants to make a ton of money and a big name, go for it.
You're good. Yeah. I wonder. Never mind. Let's just keep moving on because I know that we could keep going all day talking about that. We still got to finish this agenda.
Yeah, we still got 2 pages to go.
We got about 10 minutes to get it done. So,
a real quick item that normally gets no attention is a nomination to our various commissions, and this I'm gonna just spend a little time on this lady. For the Parks and Rec Commission, Becky Robertson. Becky Robertson, I got to meet when my youngest daughter was a golfer for the Goddard girls golf team.
Okay.
And Becky Robertson is arguably one of the finest, if not the finest, high school coach this state has ever seen.
Nice.
I say that with all sincerity. I am impressed with this woman's professionalism, how she worked with these young women and turned them into gracious young women dealing with a sporting event, but also the stress of competition. And I am thrilled that she is part of our team. All right. Next up, then the next major 1-hour discussion was on our new wayfinding. What's wayfinding? Wayfinding are signs.
Signs.
That's it. How are we going to... And this one was a little bit murky because I think Councilor Roebuck really summed it up. What we voted on was saying to staff, these are good ideas. Let's keep marching forward down this path. It was not a final approval of designs. It wasn't a budget adjustment to say spend this much money. We said, your estimates of so many thousands of dollars, go ahead and see if you can find fabricators, contractors who will build these signs for this. And the idea is to help people find out where to go to park, to visit, like the planetarium and things like that. One of the things we're looking at, too, is what they call a monument sign, which is kind of basically a three-dimensional version of our logo R, which is really cool looking. We are not replacing the signs at the entrance to Roswell.
Gotcha.
The ones we did a few years
the
ago.
green with the lights and all those.
Those are not going away. Those are not being replaced.
Matter of fact, you just added one about a year ago, right?
We had two. We added two.
Yeah.
And so that is this is focusing primarily on the whole concept of helping people find out how to get where they need to go. Think of it that way. To find your way. We'll call it wayfinding. I don't know. It's just good. So we spent an hour on that one. Then we got through some more procurement-related items dealing with professional services for the wastewater treatment plant. We got into the service contracts for with the in an agreement with the Hispano Chamber. And earlier we talked about the fact that there had been a break away from that Roswell Chamber of Commerce, but we stayed with the Hispano Chamber. Mr. Marcos Nava, who you've had in here, did the census stuff. Wonderful.
Remember, he was just on talking Piñata Fest, which is this weekend, by the way.
Starting now. I mean, not now, but today.
Later today.
Yeah, later today. Not. Don't run out there today. Right now.
Matter of fact, tomorrow morning, because Piñata Fest is today, tomorrow, all weekend. Tomorrow being 9/11, celebration 9/11, I invite as many folks to come out to the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. Get there early at 10 a.m. They're going to kick off the Saturday Piñata festivities with a 1-hour concert, 9/11 tribute concert. Tom Blake and a bunch of other fine folks are going to be singing at that event. It's also going to be the farmers market at that time too. So if you get there early, do a little shopping, and then come out. The courthouse lawn is going to be, and then after that concert, all the other Piñata Fest activities will get underway. So that all starts about 10 a.m. tomorrow. Get there earlier for the produce and stuff.
You know, I can remember 20 years ago, Mayor Bill Owen helped organize a special event at the Wool Bowl. And Tom Blake was the lead singer. And, of course, this was like within, I'd say, 2 weeks after 9/11. And, it was a packed house.
Yeah.
We ended up having, if I remember right, cutting it short because the storm came through and we had lightning. But
well, Tom Blake, that man's got a beautiful voice.
He does.
He has a great way of setting the tone for many events like that.
He does. So, he is. Yeah. All right. So continue on. We did some more dump truck purchase, mower purchase, police vehicle purchase. Some more pickups. A lot of stuff. It's like, hey, we some of this was budgeted, some of it wasn't. We need to get this stuff. The interesting dynamic these days on vehicles is that if a vehicle shows up on a dealer's lots, you better grab it while you can because it ain't going to stay there.
Yeah, if you got a bunch of cars to sell, trade-in value is probably never going to be better.
Oh, my gosh, that's it.
Yeah.
So we made it to midnight. And at that time, we went into a closed session. And we talked a little bit about this yesterday, and I still have to tread lightly because we're voting on a settlement. Roswell was one of about 44 plaintiffs. There's 13 cities, 4 towns, 4 villages, and 17 counties that sued the State Department of Taxation and Revenue over mismanagement of how they just dealt with gross receipts tax. Roswell was the only plaintiff in Chavez County. The Chavez County was not part of this. Neither were the other smaller municipalities. Hobbs down in Lee County was one. I don't know about Eddy. I don't know if Artesia or Carlsbad was in it.
I haven't heard one way or the other. Yeah.
And we went in, and this has been going on since about 2018. We got into it just under 2 years ago and became a party to this. There's been a lot of negotiation. There was an attempt at arbitration. There was extensive discussion. There was one settlement that was offered that was rejected by the primary plaintiffs, which were Albuquerque and Hobbs. So they came back and negotiated some more. Long story short, the settlement that we voted to accept, because we come out of the closed session, come back into open session. You cannot make any decisions in a closed session. We don't take any votes. We're adamant about that.
Purely informational.
Purely informational. It's where the attorneys can tell us things that we cannot have told to us out in the public.
So you can base your votes, which you probably do afterwards, on educated opinions.
So we got out. We came out, and it was a 9-0 roll call vote that we approved the settlement. Now, what is that going to do for Roswell? We will get just under $2 million.
Yeah.
Sounds great. It's good. It's a fraction of what we should have received.
Sure.
A fraction of what we accuse the state of having shorted us.
Sure.
But in the overall scheme of things, to press forward would have involved much more money and time with attorneys, and it was no assurance that in the end we would get anything better.
And at the end of the day, it'll still be a big enough lawsuit to garner the media attention and things to say, hey, they were doing shady stuff there and they got called out for it. But like I said, Roswell approved this last night, but you still have the other 40 municipalities, 30 some municipalities that have to approve this. So
right.
So we're waiting
and
on those. Yeah.
They're working their way through.
Sure.
I haven't heard of any community that has rejected it yet. The stance by the tax and rev, the state, is that it is all or none. In other words, that's their what their stated position.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that truly is the case, we will see.
Okay.
I think, though, it's time to put this to bed. I would like us to get more transparency, and we talked more about this yesterday, and I won't take up time because we're almost done.
Yeah, we're about out.
Okay, here's what I will finally end up with, a couple quick points. Again, we will have a special on
next
Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. to do the infrastructure capital improvement plan.
ICIP.
We will have to move our November City Council meeting.
Okay.
The second Thursday in November is November 11th, which is
Veterans Day.
Bingo!
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah.
So it's a holiday. We're closed. So we're actually going to, in October, vote to move the November meeting to November 18th.
Okay. Which will be that. Is that the week before Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, don't get me started. And then at the very, very end, Mr. Nebb did a great job of updating us on the status of the zoo pond, which a tremendous amount of work has been done. Absolutely amazing.
They've done a ton of work at the zoo. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's night and day, the stuff they've done over there.
The belief is that October 1, the pond will be done.
Nice.
And there's still some landscaping things they want to do, but the pond itself, the bubblers, the waterfall, there is a waterfall, by the way.
Nice.
There always was a waterfall. It was broken for probably 3 decades.
Ah.
It's on the south side, and it's we're really excited about this.
We could be like Wichita Falls if we turn it back on. Maybe we eventually change our name to Roswell Falls.
Yeah. And who is the one that didn't get enough sleep last night? Wait a minute. Where is that guy?
Well,
that's me.
My excuse is I'm stupid.
Yeah. So come out tomorrow to the Piñata Fest.
Yeah. Come out tonight. Come out today. And then, but you said 10 a.m. for the 9/11 tribute. Get out there early.
20 years.
20 years. I know. And, well, I mean, we're going to be talking a lot about it here over the next couple days here.
Yep.
Just teach the lessons. Use this as a moment to show the young folks why it's so important we do what we do, and use this moment to remember those days. And come out tomorrow. Come be a part of it. So come somber and then get ready to party afterwards with Piñata Fest. Thank you, Mayor. As always, appreciate Appreciate the conversations. We'll talk to you again. If not next month, sooner, we'll talk.
We'll actually schedule to come in on the 16th.
That's right. We got you back in on then, so we'll see you then. I got to go play news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. It's time for Town Hall News. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Another plane load of Westerners has taken off from the airport in Kabul, Afghanistan, the second evacuation flight in as many days, according to the BBC's Yogita Lamaye.
At the moment, only special chartered flights are being operated. The Taliban say regular commercial flights will restart soon. But for that to happen, there will need to be clarity on who will handle the security of the airport. A batch of relief supplies from Qatar and Pakistan has reached Afghanistan. The UN says there's a pressing need to deliver humanitarian aid across the country.
There are conflicting reports as to how many Americans and other Westerners remain trapped in Afghanistan. The estimates range anywhere from 100 to 150, several thousand. The Republican National Committee vowing to file suit over President Biden's new COVID vaccine mandates. The RNC and some Republican governors contend the requirements are unconstitutional. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis argues the Biden approach is precisely the wrong approach.
The more and more this has become coercive, where people have threatened mandates and firing and business consequences, the more it does that, I think the more people it alienates.
And a leading researcher behind the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine says that many people may not need a booster shot.
Oxford University professor Sarah Gilbert tells the Telegraph newspaper that immunity from the vaccine is holding up well, even against the Delta variant. She says that while the elderly and those who are immune compromised may need boosters, the standard 2-dose regimen should protect most people. Gilbert says the world's priority should be to get more vaccines to countries that have received limited supplies.
Correspondent Jeremy House on Wall Street. Stocks are mixed. The Dow down 24 points. The NASDAQ 77 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
The Russia to Germany pipeline has now been completed. That word from Russia's state-owned natural gas company.
This controversial pipeline under the Baltic Sea has been a decade in the making. Its completion was held up by American sanctions on a company involved with its construction. They were waived in May despite President Biden's opposition to the project, amid concerns it will be used as a political weapon. For Russia, completion means billions more dollars flowing into government coffers. It's the biggest shareholder in Gazprom. In return, Europe gets the gas that will keep its economy running. But it means an increased dependence on a country that is already its biggest external energy supplier.
The BBC's Jonathan Josephs. 3 leaders of a group that organized an annual Tiananmen candlelight vigil are in custody after being charged with subversion under Hong Kong's new national security law. News and analysis at townhall.com. In Hawaii, a high-tech way to confirm your COVID vaccination status.
People will be able to use their smartphones to prove they've been vaccinated against the coronavirus. It comes just before Honolulu and Maui began instituting vaccine requirements for patrons of restaurants and other businesses. People who have been vaccinated in Hawaii will be able to upload a photo of their paper vaccination card to the Safe Travels Hawaii website to create a digital vaccination record. The website will cross-check the information with data in the state's vaccination database. Diners may show the record to restaurants in lieu of a paper vaccination card. John Scott reporting.
Inflation at the wholesale level soared 8.3% last month over year-ago levels, the biggest annual gain since the Labor Department started calculating the 12-month number back in 2010. On Wall Street, the Dow down 27 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock.
See.
Welcome to hour number 2.
Los Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. I don't remember enough Spanish to remember how do you say 8 o'clock. It was, I know like ocho y media is like 8:30, but
Gotta put me on the spot. No, it's media. Media is 30, right?
Media. So ocho y media is 8:30. Yeah. But I don't know if it's like son las or I can't remember. It's been so long. I didn't do well in the class to begin with, so.
No, I've shared the story multiple times on this show, but I got a 13 in my Spanish 2 class. Overall, a 13. I didn't even think that was possible as much as I was there.
Yeah.
13.
Him and Dan Marino.
Wish I'd have paid more attention. I actually could understand what my girlfriend was saying like half the time when she's talking to her friends. I know they're not, but every time she does, I feel like she's talking smack.
Well, it's because the unknown. What you don't know, you insert your own fearsome thing in it.
Now, I will say it is kind of fun for me, kind of sitting over off to the side because I can just kind of like pick up little words along the way and kind of. I can understand like every third word they're talking about.
They go, Sean, la 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 la.
Yeah, right?
Sean, la 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 la.
Or the best way, just and then they just go.
And Sean goes, what?
What? What I do?
What?
Good. Just over there blushing.
That'll be on my tombstone. What? In that way. Well, happy Friday, everybody. Happy McDonald's Friday.
Yes.
It is Dia Day McDonald's. This and every Friday, the fine folks at McDonald's here, Nick and his team, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. Mayor, he was totally down with the green chili.
Yeah?
On the original OG Egg McMuffin.
Did he do an on-air taste test?
In front of me.
Okay.
He was in commercial eating while I was talking, and he was smiling and happy and quiet, which means he was digging it.
That's a winner.
That's how you could tell. For guys, men in general, if you want to know if we like the food, we don't say nothing. We're just quiet.
It's true.
And eating. That's our love is we shut our holes to put food in it.
I gotta say, McDonald's, y'all are on the cusp of the cusp of sauce research and development. I am seeing some of the best sauces in the game coming out of McDonald's.
Dang, in the game.
In the game. Every quarter we're seeing new stuff. Whether it was when the BTS pack came out and they had those 2 fancy sauces, which by the way you can only get with the BTS pack. They were very specific about that. Whatever those sauces. But here's my thing. How, after all these years, McDonald's, have we not come up with a formulation for a McHollandaise?
I would love that.
I know that it's more expensive ingredients.
I think it's a temperature thing. I think because the holiday sauce.
But I feel like there's a way that McDonald's can make it shelf stable.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't think there's a holiday sauce that's not refrigerator required.
Right, but
they figured out a way for barbecue sauce and mustards and these others and ranch even.
Okay.
Which I find weird, but okay.
But
not be refrigerated.
If you look at McDonald's, they keep their ranch, for their ranch packets for the salads in the fridge.
Yeah, but not all do that.
True.
Like I've gotten ranch dressing from other establishments that don't serve burgers.
That is true.
And serve others. And I don't know if it's like MRE ranch dressing or what. But
all right.
I'm like, this should be refrigerated. It's like powdered milk. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like it's in the same
Look, science. Here's all I'm saying. If we can come up with ways to terraform Mars and come up with plans to put that in place and make things like that happen, we need to get research and development on shelf-stable hollandaise sauce.
Yeah.
If we can make that happen, I mean, McDonald's, I feel like it's the one thing missing from the McMuffin. The one thing.
I would say, and this is where my negative brain does pop in from time to time, I would say that we can't figure out how to get our whole vehicle in the left-hand lane to turn left. Do you think we're going to have that? These people have these capabilities?
I'm not leaving it in the hands of those people. The Raisin Cakes have their time. I'm talking about the amazing genius minds at McDonald's R&D.
Yeah.
I'm talking about those McGeniuses. All right?
I just think as a society, I don't think we are capable. We can't even be nice to each other. Do you think we can figure out, we can put a man on the moon?
My God, I'm going to come up with a shelf-stable hollandaise if it kills me.
You could be...
I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Here's a segue. They managed to come up with the amazing technology that is the new pull-apart donut from McDonald's.
I like it. Have you tried it yet?
Not yet. Tanner, can we get a Zoom?
We wait.
That's as we wait.
I think we...
There it is, yes.
Ah, there we go. Zoom.
Admire the pull-apart. Look at the amazing cakey layers of donutty goodness that you can just pull apart like monkey bread.
Yeah, it does look. You know what? I was thinking. You know what I was thinking when I saw this? Alien donuts, UFO, because it looks kind of like a flying saucer to me. I'm gonna try.
Let me fly it over to you.
All right. Let me sample a pull apart. It's like the middle one, like the.
That's what I'm wondering if like the middle is like the nucleus.
Like
because they're all.
Is the middle of this donut like the corners of a cornbread batch?
Have you ever seen? You ever been to a birthday party and then they have like a middle cake and then a bunch of cupcakes? You ever see that? It's like a cupcake and then like a little mini cake. I always wonder who gets the mini cake. I mean, I guess it's for the birthday boy or girl, but that's so good.
A little glazed donut.
Yeah, it's a little glazed donut hole. It's just it's like a vitamin of awesome.
I like it. That's great. It's perfect. Like if you want donut, but you're trying to, take your calorie intake and all that.
Oh, sure that.
So you want to satisfy the craving of donut, but you don't want to eat a whole donut.
Now,
just grab one of those two little bites and boom, you're good to go.
Sure, absolutely. It's what I love about McDonald's is they make things that are handy for the road. Like they know that fry cups can go perfectly in the cup holder. This thing right here, it's a perfect road food. You just kind of pull them apart, or if you so choose,
the mouth rip.
Yeah, just pull it apart yourself. Pull it apart with your teeth.
Yeah.
Not to go all COVID unsafe here. But
I would even say you don't need teeth.
Okay.
You could gum it apart. Yeah, you could gum it apart because it's so soft. Gum a donut today from McDonald's. That's marketing right there. Get your gums on that thing. Big thank you to McDonald's. Swing by, visit. Go to mchire.com if you're looking for career opportunities. I say this every week, and I will say it again this week. Nick Snowberger loves to promote from within. Many of his management team that at the big office there doing his thing, a lot of them started out at the beginning with the McDonald's group, with Nick Snowberger's team. Started out working fries and flipping burgers and cleaning restrooms, and now they're some of his directors and managers and things like that. Yeah. So please go to mchire.com and fill out an application today if you're looking for a career opportunity with McDonald's. Nick and his team. Sheriff Mike Harrington scheduled to join us this morning here in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll chit-chat. Oh, hold on. I just got this notification on Facebook. Is Sheriff here? No. Oh, I just got this notification on Facebook.
Go on.
You know whose birthday's today?
Who that?
Sheriff Mike Harrington.
Nuh-uh.
Says Mike Harrington and another one of my friends has a birthday today.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Sheriff.
Well, happy birthday, Sheriff.
We'll give him a wish here in just a few minutes.
Do you have a candle? Put a candle into a donut hole.
In the wind. I don't know if we have
breaking
candles.
wind.
Huh? All right. Well, cool.
Why didn't you
Today's his birthday. Was he coming in? He probably hasn't rung it yet. Cool. Sharon's here, and it's just birthday today. I just so happened to pick up my phone to see if I was getting any messages or anything, and then a notification from Facebook saying, today is Sheriff Mike Carrington and one other's birthday today. So happy birthday, Sheriff Mike Carrington. And see if he's listening. Jeff Bannister as well celebrating a birthday today. So if y'all see Jeff out and about town, give him a attaboy and a slap on the back to say happy birthday to him. But Sheriff Mike Harrington will join us here in just a bit. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have high pressure set up over central New Mexico, and that means warm temperatures and sunny skies for us today. A little bit breezy, especially in the afternoon, and our high temperature should be around 100. Overnight will be clear and low 60s, and then around 100 again tomorrow, breezy in the afternoon and sunny, mid-90s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 64 degrees. You know what? That's not fresh. I thought I hit the fresh button, but it didn't really fresh. There we go. 67 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 59%. Winds are, in fact, calm at the moment. For today, hot. Sunny, highs near 100. 99 officially with south winds 5 to 15. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low is 65 with south winds 10 to 15. For the weekend, Saturday, once again, highs near the century mark. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 in the morning, 10 to 15 for tomorrow afternoon. For you Sunday, with sunny skies, highs right around 95, south winds 5 to 10, and it looks like we'll be floating in the mid-90s Monday, Tuesday, and through the first hunk of next week. But should be just if you're going out to Piñata Fest or Farmers Market or both or any of the stuff happening this weekend, definitely dress in layers and sunscreen and hats and all that good stuff. All right, it is 17 minutes after 8 o'clock. Real quick before we get taking a quick commercial break here. It is the season for the green chili. That's right. You smell it in the air, and now it's here. And Gray's Farm and Garden, they are the green chili kings for us here in southeast New Mexico. Come on by. They've got your green chili. They've got it by the bushel, the half bushel, and no matter your flavor or hotness level, they got you covered. They got the big gems, they got the extra hots, they got the regular hots, they even got the milds for our new to the green chili world. Get them roasted right there at Graves Farm. And while you're waiting for them to roast, do some shopping in the farm and garden store as well, which is now open 7 days a week. It's open Monday through Saturday from 8:30 to 5:30, and then on Sundays as well from 1 to 5. Not only can you get those green chilies, get them roasted, order them. You can order in the bags, but if you want something bigger, like a bushel or a half, no problem. They got you covered. Oh, by the way, on the green chili, Grace Farm will ship that green chili to anywhere in the United States. So if you've had friends or family come visit and you got them hooked on green chili, now they're like, oh, send me green chilies, send me green. Give them the number to Graves Farm. Have them call direct, 575-622-1889, and Graves will ship that green chili to them anywhere in the United States. Or do you here too? And then, of course, come on by the store, pick up fresh produce, locally grown, black-eyed peas, tomatoes, watermelons, cantaloupes, all of that. They got you covered. Grace Farm and Garden, they're located just 6.5 miles southeast of Roswell. They accept EBT, WIC, all the major credit cards and debit cards. And like I said, if you want to order that chili and send it to Aunt Peggy or Uncle Tom there, and maybe not Uncle Tom, Uncle Ted. Send it to him in North Kakalaki. You can do it anywhere in the country. Just give him a call, 575-622-1889. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Sheriff and Undersheriff going to join us here. Birthday boy, do you know? Happy birthday. I was getting ready to talk to you. I looked at my phone, and it was like, today is Mike Harrington's birthday. I was like, oh, look at that. So happy birthday, Sheriff.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you here in just a few, all right? There's some McDonald's in there if you want. Right. Go grab it. And That's a pull-apart donut. Sean and I just split one. Help yourself to that one if you want.
Birthday, you knew it.
Oh, yeah. That's why I did it. I knew exactly what happened. All right, it is 8:19. Quick break, and then we'll talk with the sheriff and Charles here on the other side. Don't go away.
How many times do you think we could say lucky in 30 seconds? This is the lucky 13th year for the Artesia Chamber of Commerce's Clays Crusher Fun Shoot. If you're feeling lucky, please join us on Saturday, September 18th for a fun day of shooting clays. Luckily, we scored a spot at the Eddy County Shooting Range, and we'll have 2 rotations at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're lucky, you will hit all 70 targets. If we are lucky, the weather will cooperate. It's just $150 per participant. A team of 5 is just $750, and a sponsorship is luckily $1,300. Sign up at artesiachamber.com or give us a call at 575-746-2744. We just said 7 luckies in 30 seconds. Luck must be on our side. Clays Crusher, September 18th, artesiachamber.com. Paid for by the Artesia and Eddy County Lodgers Tax.
Eastern New Mexico University Greyhound football is back on the High Plains. Don't miss out on all the excitement of Greyhound football as the Hounds welcome in Adams State Saturday, September 11th at 6 p.m. Sponsored by Nixon Enterprises. Don't miss out as ENMU salutes America's heroes with a flyover before the game courtesy of Cannon Air Force Base. Tickets start as low as $10 for adults, and kids 8 and under are free. For more information, visit goeasternathletics.com. ENMU football, all in.
When you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to worry about is how soon you can get in to see your healthcare provider, or even finding a provider if you don't have one. Well, now you can feel better knowing that the Loveless Healthcare Center in Roswell offers same-day or next-day appointments for when you're not feeling well, or for checkups, annual exams, or any chronic issues that need attention. To schedule an appointment or to find a new healthcare provider, call 625-3222 today.
The High Caliber Summer Sale is on now at LGS Guns and Ammo. Now through Labor Day weekend, save big on guns, ammo, and everything you need. From brands like Glock, Ruger, Springfield, Smith & Wesson, Mossberg, and more. Plus, massive savings on ammo, targets, magazines, optics, and knives, and a great selection of Springfield St. Edge rifles. The High Caliber Summer Sale on now at LGS Guns and Ammo. Southeastern New Mexico's authority for guns and ammunition in Hobbs or Roswell, and at LGSguns.com.
Almost everybody knows the Bible story of David and Goliath. Usually we tend to focus on a couple of things within that story, such as the size of the giant and the courage of David. I wonder if we lose sight, though, of the most important figure in that story. Behind the scenes is David's God, a God who empowers and a God who brings victory. Most of us have some giants that need to be conquered in our own lives. Some of these giants have shown up out of nowhere to test us, maybe even taunt us. Some of our giants we've created by our own mistakes and sin. One important lesson from David's story is that the giant really doesn't matter, but God does. So we face our giants with courage and strength, not because of our might, but because of God's. We stand tall, knowing that victory will come with God, and that we will one day see that giant slain at our feet. This calls us to do 2 things. We've got to show up for the battle, and then we need to look up for victory. Our goal at Country Club Road is to help people conquer their giants.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Your Roswell Coyotes are home at last. This Friday night, the Coyotes return home to the Wool Bowl to host the Tigers of Los Lunas High. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com will have all the action. It all kicks off with the pregame at 6:50 and kickoff at 7. Art Sandoval and Kelly McDonald will be on hand to cover all the action. Coyotes versus Los Lunas Tigers. Friday night at 7 on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's Sports Authority.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, the birthday boy, Sheriff Mike Harrington and Under Sheriff Charles Eastlis. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How are you?
How are y'all doing today?
We're doing great.
Good deal.
TGIF.
That's right, exactly. It was so funny that it came up because I was talking, and because I'd sent Sheriff a message and say, "Hey, reminder, we got you on today."
Right.
And so I was talking at the end of the last hour. And I was like, "Oh yeah, the Sheriff's coming," and I was looking to see just to make sure he'd say, "Hey, I'm coming or not coming." And then I got a thing on Facebook today. Is Sheriff Mike? I was like, "Oh, look at this!" It just happened organically. I was like, "Oh, look at this!" Just so happened. So.
Yeah, but that's good. And
how's any birthday plans today other than working?
Lots of work today, and
maybe the residents of Chaves County can behave themselves. Everybody, just today. Yeah. I mean, just today, give the sheriff time to enjoy his birthday.
Yeah, and so we're going to be working today on that, but we're also getting everything ready for all the September 11th stuff that starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're going to be out with the Waymaker Church on the east side of town.
Okay.
By St. John's Church tomorrow from 10 to 2.
Okay.
I'll be cooking hot dogs out there.
All right.
And then also during the same time, we'll be at the Roswell Ford.
They got a car show and their Hometown Hero event that's happening tomorrow, like 10 to 1, I believe.
Yep. So I'm a judge on the car show.
Okay.
So I'll be back and forth from there.
Okay.
And then also the
Piñata Fest.
Piñata Fest starts
going.
They got their 9/11 tribute concert. Tom Blake and a few others are going to be singing. That starts at 10 a.m.
Yep.
And that's going to be in the courthouse
on the courthouse lawn.
That's kind of kicking off the Saturday festivities for Piñata Fest.
Exactly.
Correct.
I also could kind of say, because farmers market's going from 7 to 10 or 11.
7 to 12.
So it kind of transitions everything from farmers market to Piñata Fest out there.
And it all works good together because really and truly it's the same group of people that's going to attend both.
Absolutely.
And so it's going to be a good thing. The Piñata Fest actually starts tonight.
Yeah, day one's today.
5 o'clock to 10 p.m. and then carries on tomorrow from 10 to 10.
10 to 10.
Action, and I'm sure Sheriff and of course all law enforcement and everybody else want to remind folks there's going to be a lot more people, a lot more traffic. There's going to be some closures downtown, some of the side streets.
Slow down.
Yes.
Pay attention, slow down. Don't go. You should never be barreling through downtown because it's always busy, but
that's
particularly
why it's 25 miles an hour.
Yep.
And one of the things is the kids, and these are great events. Go out there, support the food vendors, support the people who are out there, and just go see. It's like I tell everybody about the farmers market. The one thing that is amazing to me is the things that you find out there. Mm-hmm. You can't find anywhere else.
Absolutely,
pretty neat,
and unique stuff.
You go out there and you're like, man, I've never seen anything like that before. But and it's cheap, not cheap.
I ended up being one of the big sales.
Very.
I spent $40.
There you go. So all you vendors at the farmers market, Charles Eastlis is a mark.
Yes,
he will buy your stuff. Just be nice to him.
Well, and how you spend $40 on dollar stuff?
Yes,
I guess you get bags of $40, 40 things.
Well, for those who don't know, because Charles, you and your dad are now part of American Legion 61 with the Sons and everything. So we'll be out there selling stuff. So tell our other Legionnaires when you see Charles come, get him to buy some steering wheel covers and masks and everything else.
Oh, you'll be
cookies, all kinds of stuff out there.
You'll be tracked down to buy some cookies and stuff out there. So
we gotta get there early for the cookies. They go like 9 o'clock on. They're gone.
I bought his birthday out there.
Yeah, that's
right.
Nice.
Well, and talking about birthdays is I'm so blessed to have another one. And, this week we have laid to rest quite a few people within our community who you would have never believed they would have gone this soon.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can honestly say that I'm truly blessed to have another day and to have another birthday. And, the crazy thing is in my mind, and I say this to everybody, especially whenever I'm in a fight. When the fight starts, I feel 18. During the fight, I now feel 52. And then once the fight's over, I feel 88 or 90.
I know exactly how you feel, sure.
For about 3 or 4 weeks, So, but in your mind, as long as you got that drive and you're continuing to go, you're gonna do fine. And so, but this week we've done lots of funeral escorts. We've done lots of things for some great people who passed on early. And I don't question God. You know, I believe everything is in His time, but it's sad to see the effects that it left on the people behind. Yeah. You know, I'm happy
and how young
they went on to a better place, but for those who are left here, it's tough.
Death, the hard part for death is the people that are behind.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
I mean, at the end of the day, when we die, we're dead. We're on to the next thing here.
Next deal.
Hopefully, you did your life well here, and you're going on to a good place on the other side here.
Yeah.
But you know, your problems are done. It's the rest of us here that are left behind to deal with the memories and the loss and everything else. And humans, some humans handle it better than others. And if you're already in a place of depression or stress, and then you add that on top of that could be the layers that cause you to really have some serious mental health problems, things like that. So,
and you know, one of the things is when a person is fighting a disease like cancer or something else, and it's prolonged, and they're in pain and they're in agony, and you know, when they pass,
it's almost relief sometimes.
Yes, and it's different than whenever somebody's just gone, almost immediately. Sure. You know. And so we've seen that. We felt that this week, and we have some more funerals that are coming up that are just heartbreaking.
Too soon.
Ones you shouldn't have to be doing right now, and it stinks that you do. My own personal, because I've had it both. When my father passed away, he had the long battle of cancer and all that. My mom had a aneurysm in her heart and did it suddenly. So I've experienced both where like one out of left field, and the left field one is rougher because it's harder, faster. Yeah. Now, in terms of getting over it, I got to be honest. I think the longer drawn out one was a little rougher to deal with in that side because you're physically watching someone you love be less of a person they were than you knew them. Oh yeah. So that's a little bit more mentally grinding, I think. Whereas the other one's kind of like a gut punch. But then after the gut punch settles in, you can kind of process a little bit and do it. You don't dwell on it as much. You just deal with the shock and then try to recover.
And the thing about that also is, you know, she went on to be with her husband.
Yeah.
So you have that deal. You know, that's something where when the first one that's tough because it's been a battle. It's been your job.
Yeah. For
ruling your life for a long period of time. Where the other one, you're like, you know what? She went on to be with Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's comforting to know, in a sense. But it's tough, and we're dealing with that right now. And
sure.
And so what we tell everybody, and what I tell everybody is the sheriff. You know, if you want to wear a mask, you wear a mask. If you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated.
Yeah.
But we're not going to tell you have to.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way it's got to be, and that's the Constitution of the United States, Constitution of New Mexico.
Absolutely.
Very clear. It says you have the right to make the choice for your life.
This is the country you want to be. The freedom to do what you want, but also the responsibility to understand the repercussions for that.
Repercussions or consequences.
And consequences are the responsibilities of that. That's what this is. Like, sure, if you want to do this, great. Yeah. As long as you're willing to accept this, and this, that's what's going to happen, or this. It's just like anything else in life. You make decisions, you weigh the pros and cons, and hopefully you pick the side that's got more pros than cons for you. Yeah. And that's how you make life decisions.
That's what makes this country the best country in the world.
Exactly. And as long as you're doing that, you're doing the right things for you. I mean, obviously, if we're getting into, other things, murders and things, then you're going to be dealt with. But when it comes to making decisions on what you do to your lives, and I don't want to get political, but I'm like, I know there's the abortion arguments, and they're talking, and it's almost like the people are making the same arguments for the opposite things.
Exactly.
Did you notice that? Reverse. Yeah. My body, my choice.
And it's like,
reverse.
How hypocritical do all of you look right now because you just jumped on the other team?
Yeah.
And
29 today?
Yeah, 25 if you reverse.
24, he's lying.
You look in the mirror,
26.
Instead of 52, it shows 25.
He says he keeps going back.
I keep standing in front
I like
of the
that.
mirror.
Yeah. That's the thing.
25 with experience.
I keep standing in front of the mirror looking at
52
that
years
reverse.
experience.
Yeah.
But the mirror doesn't help me to realize that I'm 25.
As long as you're looking at the cake in the mirror, not the rest of it, right?
Cake. Don't the man. That's it.
You're closer in the mirror.
Yeah.
We're not going to put any candles because the fire marshal will have our.
Oh
behind us.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I wouldn't be able to blow them out. I'd be like that wheezing and yeah, so not good. So yeah.
Hey, just put a road flare on the top there. That's like a fountain. It'd be like fireworks and candles all at the same time.
And a huge fire.
But one thing I wanted to talk about real quick was some of the things for the sheriff's office. So, since I've been in office, we've got 19 new trucks.
Nice.
And we've had new transport vans for the courts and stuff like that. And well, we just got 4 more from the capital outlay money that our legislators and senators got for us.
Nice.
As well. So we have 1 Tahoe that's coming and 3 more trucks.
Nice.
So we are doing very well. And
I was talking with the mayor yesterday about it, and I was kind of curious about it because they were talking ICIP and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was asking because they were talking about purchasing more vehicles for the city, law enforcement, and so forth.
Yeah.
And I was kind of curious, how that process. And he kind of explained it, but you could probably explain a little better, or at least when you all buy vehicles, do you all? Because obviously you got your Dodges or whatever companies are at the time making vehicles for police officers. Sometimes Ford makes them, sometimes Dodge. Chevy I think even has a few in there. Right. But anyway, when you guys go to buy those, do you call local dealerships and they order it, or is there a police vehicle store some out there that we don't know about? How does all that work?
You have a state contract. But I'll let Charles tell you because he's the guy that deals with all that.
This is how it works. The sheriff comes in and says, "I need this many vehicles."
Okay.
And then I said, "Okay."
Okay.
And then it begins. What happens is you go off a state contract.
Okay.
You do have a state contract. You do have also CES. So it just depends on what you find. On state contract, you have several different dealerships that will put vehicles on there.
Okay.
And your more popular vehicles for law enforcement are your trucks now, your SUVs.
Okay. They're going in that
things
direction.
like that. They do still have some cars.
I'm a trendsetter.
But there you go. But what happens is you go on, and they're pretty reasonable as far as, or comparable, I should say, in price. And what state contract does is it gives us a price, we pay that price, and then they're reimbursed the difference through submitting that through the state. And what I look for is I look and see how much money I have, and then I see what I can get for that, because I still have uplifting of the vehicles. And what people don't realize is I may pay $26,000 for a truck that's normally $40,000, but then I drop another $15,000 to $20,000 worth of equipment into that vehicle. So now we're back up to $45,000, and if that truck is wrecked or something happens to it, I get paid for the truck. You want to talk about scavenging now?
So now you got to go through and for all the equipment
all that stuff
cannibalize as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Out of it.
Yeah, if it's not damaged. So we had a truck that was wrecked just a couple weeks after putting it out on the street.
Oh, that's the worst kinds. The new ones.
700 miles.
Then you get a $19,000 check from the insurance.
And how do you get $40,000 into it?
How do you get another vehicle for that price? So, but we luckily enough, we use all local places to do like our uplifting. We use Albuquerque.
Okay.
WAC.
So you can kind of work deals and get.
Yeah.
But you know.
But here we use the Rap Studio and some other places that does all of our decals, and so we try to bring all the money back locally.
Sure,
and,
as much as you can on
as
that.
much as you can.
So I'm curious because, like you said, they got to do the uplifting on the vehicles. But are those vehicles, like when you buy them, they're still not the same truck or SUV that a customer would buy? It's got a beefier like chassis or some other things that are a little different than the regular Tahoes or whatever a customer would buy.
The ones I just purchased 4. I purchased 3 trucks and 1 SUV, and they're all SSV special service vehicles.
Gotcha.
So they have the heavy duty suspension, the tow package. They have the police package on the engine.
Okay.
The engine is a little faster.
Okay.
It has more power. So it has the extras
you get
inside.
the special Tahoes or Dodge or Rams or whatever they're offering out there.
I'm going to tell you, the Tahoe that we got, that thing is sharp.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy how high it sets up off the ground now. And compared to the ones before. But, you know, that was one of my reasons of going with the trucks is for the 21 years in time that I was with the sheriff's office and driving a patrol car or even an expedition, the chassis sets so low.
You need the clearance.
On the county road, you're going to rip out the bottom of them, you know, and so now we have these vehicles that pretty much can go anywhere.
Nice.
And with these tires that we get, the 10-ply tires, we go everywhere.
Nice.
And it's amazing.
It's come a long way from years ago.
Yeah.
When we got 20 years ago when we first got the expeditions, the sergeants, he was a sergeant at the time, the sergeants got the expeditions and we all had the cars.
Yeah.
And we thought we were it then. And then you'd get, at that time I was a detective and I would have to park my car, jump in the expedition, put my gear in the expedition, and have them take me down to a crime scene because my car wouldn't make it.
Oh,
and
wow.
so we've come a long way
Sure.
in that amount of time.
Now you
and
can go by yourself.
Exactly.
I don't need a parent.
Everybody has their own car.
That's it. You know, and that's kind of the way everything has gone. It's become more compatible with the job that you actually do. It's just like the uniform that we wear today.
Yeah.
This vest is unbelievable. When you put it on and you put on all your gear, and if you're wide as I am, you get to carry more gear. So my vest, my vest weighs about.
I do
30.
this for equipment.
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
this for equipment
That's
reasons.
a good
But,
excuse. I'm gonna
I try and keep this wider than this. But
but you know, and it was the same thing with your belt. When your belt is as tall as you are, you can carry more gear on it. You can carry some of the other guys' gear for you.
I got a few loops right here.
Yeah. So, but one of the things about it is you get to carry all your gear up here, and this vest weighs about 35 pounds.
I'm about to say it's.
But
and actually, that's all things considered, as much stuff and everything. That's pretty light.
That's pretty light.
It's better to carry on your shoulders than on your hips and your waist.
Yeah, you're going to pay for it. At the end of the day, your life.
Believe me, and I know because right now at 52. Today,
I mean 25.
That 25. That sciatic nerve is very touchy.
Yeah.
And when you have all that weight down going on your hips and on your sciatic nerve, over time it really causes you some serious injuries or issues. And but this vest, I'm telling you, it's all on the shoulder. You don't even notice the weight of it at all, you know, and because you're carrying it all on your legs. And
more comfortable.
And so it's more comfortable.
But then I guess after a while you
when
you get used to it. You're part of it.
You know,
you just unzip it.
We do live in New Mexico. It's like 800 degrees out here a lot. So
you unzip this thing, you can open up the vest, and you can get some air conditioning from the car. But and before you couldn't do that, so you're sweating underneath that uniform shirt, underneath that vest.
Yeah.
And the smell that would come up every once in a while from right here was not
there
good.
is no
Little
odor
gamey.
like that odor.
There's so much baby powder can do.
If baby powder wouldn't even do it, it just turned to paste.
It was the smell of a locker room all the time.
Okay.
You know, and everybody can relate to the locker room smell.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And so that's how that musky smell. So, but so when we went to these, the hardest part about it was not to sell it for the comfort, but to sell it to say, look, this is something that's going to be medically better for us in the long run. Because when people first see this vest and the uniform and everything that we went to, they're like, you're the Gestapo. You're out there. You look like you're in the military. You look like you're going to war. Well, in reality, we are.
Every day.
Absolutely right.
Every day.
You're absolutely
and
right.
And so, but the main thing is that I did this not to be as an intimidation look, but as a comfort to the officer appearance, as well as it does look sharp.
Yeah.
You know, it really does look
is
good.
A big part.
And you got to have something that's easy to deal with, easy to take on and off. When they come into the office and do reports, they can take this off, set it to the side, cool down, be comfortable, and throw it on real quick.
Sure, if they got to get out in a pinch, they can get up and get dressed.
It's like a pair of bunkers for a fireman. Just jump in the boots, pull up the pants, and go. You know, they're all attached, so you can do it. Same thing here. You can set it to the side. It's easy to put all your gear back on in just a minute. So we've done some great things with this department, and we've seen technology and things that have become more and more officer friendly, and so we're going that route. And we're doing lots of things, lots of training, So it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's the evolution of policing.
It is. It
is. And like any other place or career or path or anything, you have to be evolving or you're devolving. And
the other part is
behind.
And the other part is you have to have people who can accept change, because people will fight change harder than any other fight I've ever seen. You know, they're so complacent, and change is scary. But once they get there, they're like, man, we should have done this a long time ago.
Sure. Well, we have that mindset of it's better to go with the devil you know than the devil you don't. And that's the mindset I think most of us have. And so that's what we think change. It's like, well, I don't like this, but at least I know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I can deal with it. No, this is better.
Yeah.
Oh, it is better. Okay, then this is a new change. But that's how we have to do it every time because we're too stubborn to just say, hey, maybe this one is a good idea.
How many of us flip through Netflix for something to watch, and we always go back to something we've already watched,
right?
And we know the ending.
I can only watch Ernest Goes to Jail so many times.
We know it, and so we watch it again. You know?
Yeah, because now you can talk. Now you can talk with it as it's playing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I do with Andy Griffith.
It's like that old T-shirt or that old the old pair of shorts or something you love putting on.
Don't throw those out.
Yeah, you have no godly business being in public with those things, but you love wearing them because they're just comfortable.
That's right.
As far as like what we're seeing on the streets, things like that, has it been more of the same in the last couple weeks? Upticks, downticks, like what you got? What are you guys seeing?
So right now, one of the things that we're dealing with is still with people, stealing cars, stealing property. Those are still things that are going on.
Crimes of convenience.
Crimes of
Property
convenience.
crimes.
Yeah. So your home, like your burglaries and stuff like that, aren't as high, but your crimes against people are still there because some people are still at home. So whenever they go to do what is considered a burglary, they get in, and then all of a sudden there's people there. Now it becomes crimes against person. And we're glad to see that the schools are back in session. Things I think are going to come down a little bit more in crimes against children.
Good.
Types of things I think are going to get better because
now the people getting out of the house, there's less domestic issues,
and they can tell somebody about it.
But we're still in that phase of people are going stir crazy, and we just experienced something that one of my workers. Their daughter had to go to the hospital the other day for a car wreck injury, and we have no nurses. We have no staff. Everybody was gone because of this the mandate to get COVID shot. Well, now Lubbock is fully staffed, if not overstaffed.
They all went to Texas
because they all went to Texas.
Yeah,
that's bad for us.
Absolutely.
And
we all knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, we knew that was going to happen.
And that's what makes us mad
because you go into the hospital. They're all standing in the hallways. There's no beds available. Not because there's not beds available, but there's no nurses to take care of those beds.
They can't run certain tests because people can't do those tests.
You can't run the tests, and so we're seeing more and more things like that, and it's just it's crazy if you just leave it to people. I truly believe if you just said, you know what, go get the shot if you want it, or if you don't. I believe you would have more people probably go get the vaccine if they want.
Sure.
Because they're not feeling forced to go do it.
Well, anytime anybody's made to do something, they're going to turn it into... You're going to get that
resistance.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, you should get it or you shouldn't get it, but I believe that whenever you're forced, that there's always the wall that's put up.
Yeah.
And so whenever you just say, it's your choice, just like the flu shot, people go in, they get it, or they don't get it.
Exactly.
But we don't really worry about it because if you don't have it, or even if you do have it and you get the flu, then you're going to hear people say, man, that shot gave me the flu, or you're going to have people say, man, I wished I would have got it because this year's flu was horrible.
Sure.
Whatever it is, but you can't make everybody happy. And no matter how hard we try to force things on people, not the sheriff's office, but I'm talking about our government.
Sure.
It's going to cause a rebellion or a resistance like they've never seen before.
No matter what you're trying to force.
Then when you watch the TV and you see a government that is in complete
chaos,
confusion. There's and it's not, and it's because a man has an illness. He shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So that's a bad thing.
I always tell people, the people, like you said, I'm all for it. People, do your choices. You choose what you feel is best for you and your family. For the people that choose not to get the shots and things like this, and because of their worries of which are very valid worries, what's the long term here, how much testing's done. Exactly. If you're having those questions, my suggestion to you is before you make that decision one way or another, do what you do for every other time when you're in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk to the experts you trust.
Yeah.
Call your doctor.
Exactly.
Call the people that you trust with your medical questions and see what they say.
Sure.
If they agree with you, do that. If they tell you something different, then you do what they do on that. But you do the ones you trust, the ones that you feel safe with doing. And if you don't have that person, go find one.
That's right.
Go get a doctor. Go get someone. Go talk to, go get this done because unfortunately we live in an information age where everything's at our fingertips, but with that, everything's at our fingertips, the good, the bad, the ugly. And unless you know what you're looking for, it's really hard to determine what's legit, what's not legit,
you can't look
what's
anything
hokum.
up anymore.
Yeah, don't look up symptoms.
You'll be, oh my gosh, look at this.
I'm going to die.
So rather than rely your decision making on all of that nonsense, go to the places you know and trust, your doctors, your healthcare professionals, the people that see you, that see your kids, that do that you rely for everything else health related to with, and ask them this: why would you do anything different now? If any time now more than ever is the time to listen to them, because there's so many people telling you so many different things. Go to the people that you know you trust.
You wouldn't go to a car dealer to buy a cell phone.
Exactly.
And vice versa. Go to the professional.
Yeah, just because your buddy said, "Oh, that vaccine's awful," your buddy works with you doing whatever you do. Sure. They know nothing more about vaccines than you do. They read the same stuff online you did.
That's right.
Go to the experts, the people that went to years of schooling, that treat people day in and day out.
With it.
It's no more like if you're like, you guys are police officers.
Yeah.
If some yahoo came in and started telling you that you need to do officer in this way, you're like, dude, I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
You literally watch Cops.
Yeah.
Okay? You're doing the exact same thing with your health care.
And believe me, that happens.
It happens more than you think.
Check out my Facebook page.
More than you think.
Exactly.
You should do it this way.
And speaking of the Facebook page, one of the things is you'll see, I put out everything on there, and we're very discreet when it comes to accidents and stuff like that. We're not going to show the body. We're not going to show things like that.
Yeah.
But we always show the accident because you have to be aware that things like this are happening.
You got to be reminded because
you have to be reminded. Just like going to Tatum, scares me to death whenever my kids say, "Hey, we're going to go to Lubbock. We're going to do this," because that road is so dangerous.
It is,
and you got to worry about getting hit head on by someone trying to pass a truck.
Yeah, it's not so much you; it's the other people, and you got to pay attention.
And then they have the sun rising and setting, and
is in your eyes.
It can be blinding. Yeah.
Yes,
and so you got to be careful on that, But it's something for us that we are dealing with more and more is within this the sheriff's office is getting information out to the people, being very transparent. If you notice, I go to pretty much every community event, and the reason for that is because food's great. Food's great because I'm usually the cook.
He's the one doing
it. But the thing about it is that it's so important to me is we have to have community relations. You have to have the people in the county which you live and serve trust you.
Absolutely.
And know that you are there for their best interests. And not to be swayed one way or another.
Exactly.
And so that's important to me. And when I get out there, or we get out there, and my guys get out there, we are there as people, as part of the community, but we're also there to show you that, hey, we live here.
We live here as well.
And we want things to go well. I want people to come out and about. I want them to be able to socialize and to get to meet new people and do things. And so for us, it is important to show that we are there, not just walking around making sure you're safe.
Sure.
But it's also to show, hey, we're going to come up. You can come talk to us.
You're a resource in this community.
And we are approachable.
Whether you need help, whether you need directions, whether you need
whatever it is.
Whether you just want to say hello.
Or you come up to me and say, are you doing this while you're working? If they only knew I work 24 hours a day.
When am I not working?
When am I not working? 7 days a week. So, but the reality of it is, if you took what I make as the sheriff and you put it towards the hours I actually put in, you wouldn't want this job if you want to get rich.
I think I'm at about $1.20 an hour. About $1.20 an hour.
Right. It doesn't compare, but I don't do this for the money. I do this because I truly do care about Chaves County, and I do care.
This is your
about
home.
The state of New Mexico.
This is our home. It's your home, and you want the best home on the planet. And you're doing your part to help make it that.
People forget that we're out there to take care of them and to be available to them. It's not about Democrat, Republican, Independent. It's about people. It's about the Chaves County residents. It's about if you're visiting Chaves County, it doesn't matter. We're approachable and we love to visit with people.
Exactly. It's all about love. Love comes in many forms. Tough love, like compassion, everything else.
And he's right. We hit every event that we possibly can.
Yeah, but it's the same thing like you were just talking. When we put you in jail or we arrest you, it's not anything personal.
Yeah. Nope.
It's because of the choices you made.
Sure.
And it's just like your mom or dad. You have to, there is discipline that comes with making a bad decision.
Sure.
And, the consequences can be good or bad.
Absolutely.
So, people
could be the wake-up call you need.
Yeah, consequences, people believe when you say consequences, they always think it's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always that.
No.
It's a chain of events that happen because of the decision you made right here. So if you make a good decision, everything that comes after it is good consequences.
Absolutely.
So that's what we were talking about. And
life lessons.
Life lessons.
It's all about making. When you make mistakes, we all make mistakes. Learning from them. A trip to jail can be the biggest blessing in disguise for some people.
Can be the biggest change for someone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
Well, we are out of time, actually. As always, appreciate the visit. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much.
Everybody give the sheriff a happy birthday when you see him out and about this weekend or today especially.
Yeah. Real quickly, remember tomorrow, Waymaker Church.
Yes.
Also, Roswell Ford is going to be putting on a car show.
10 to 1.
Stop by there down at the county courthouse in the morning. The Piñata Fest, several events going on this weekend.
Yeah.
You're going to see us bouncing around from event to event. Yep. You'll see the MRAP. You'll see some other deputies running around.
Yeah.
So when you see us, come up and talk to us.
By the way, if you're going out to the farmers market and everything tomorrow early, I'm pretty sure we were discussing it at our meeting last night. American Legion Post 61, how they normally have their. I believe they're going to be doing some bell ringing at the times that the plane hits at 7. Now you got to get there early. It's going to be like 7 in the clock hour.
Yeah.
But they plan on doing that there.
So
too.
one last thing before we go, I just want to tell you I'm so happy to see you in person because that
you ain't lying
right there.
You ain't lying. That's scary.
It was kind of eerie to sit there and you wanted to talk to it, but then we had the earmuffs on and
it's like
and it just wouldn't talk back.
It's like watching a Jeff Dunham concert. You actually start for a minute thinking you're looking at the puppet talking to him like he's actually answering you.
I was waiting for someone to start doing this with it.
So thank you for having us on, but we appreciate it.
Thank you. We're glad to be in front of you guys.
Yeah. Welcome back.
We're glad you're good.
So we'll see you here in a couple weeks, if not sooner, okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
Have a great Friday.
Thanks. You do the same. Thank you, guys.
You bet.
All right, 8:58. Let's do a quick break before we get you into Town Hall News. Don't go away.
There's nothing like a good night's sleep. But if your old, worn-out mattress is keeping you up at night, then hurry to Glenn's Furniture and change your life. Glenn's carries Serta, the finest mattress in the world. Whether you prefer a traditional inner spring, a modern memory foam, or a hybrid that combines the best of both, Glenn's has the right size and right firmness in stock, specially priced and ready for free delivery. So don't lay awake another night. Head for Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, making sweet dreams since 1953.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
Enjoy more of the speed you need with gigabit internet from Plateau Fiber. Fiber means more speed, and that means more streaming on more devices with less buffering. Plateau offers True Gig, a dedicated fiber connection to download and upload what you want with speeds up to a gigabit per second. Best of all, it's all yours. You don't have to share your connection with the whole neighborhood. Sign up now to ensure your neighborhood is part of the next service zone. Learn more and get signed up today at plateaufiber.com. That's plateaufiber.com.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
I'm Rich Thomason. For the second time in as many days, a plane load of Westerners and Afghan allies has departed the Kabul airport bound for Qatar. With the Taliban now in charge in Afghanistan with all U.S. troops out of the country, America prepares to mark the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
Lawrence Christopher Abel.
It's an anniversary we've all become too familiar with, the reading of names of those who died on 9/11. Kathy Cunningham, who lost her brother, attended the New York anniversary gathering in 2020.
We wish we didn't have to be here, but we have a story to tell, and our story is to keep their memory alive.
The attacks resulted in increased security screening at airports following the creation of the Transportation Security Administration 2 months after 9/11. I'm Mike Hempen.
The Republican National Committee pledging to file a lawsuit against President Biden's newly announced COVID vaccine mandates, arguing the mandates are unconstitutional. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis taking issue with what Mr. Biden is trying to do, threatening the unvaccinated with unemployment.
I do not believe that people should lose their jobs over this issue, and we will fight that.
The president speaking just moments ago at a school in Washington, D.C.
Schools follow the science, and they are here, and implement safety measures like vaccinations, testing, masking. Then children can be safe in schools, safe from COVID-19.
Your money not safe from inflation. It continues to eat away at the value of the dollar. Wholesale inflation skyrocketing last month, up 8.3% from year-ago levels. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. Right now, the Dow down 117 points. The Nasdaq a dozen points higher. The S&P 7 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
A Taliban spokesman says that a Uyghur separatist organization that's seeking independence from China will not be tolerated inside Afghanistan.
Beijing considers the East Turkmenistan Islamic Movement, or ETIM, to be a terrorist organization. It's used the threat it says the group poses inside its far western region of Xinjiang to justify the harsh treatment of Muslim Uyghurs and other minority groups there. Speaking to China's Global Times newspaper, the Taliban spokesman Suhail Shaheen said that many members of ETIM have already left Afghanistan. But, the paper noted, he failed to answer whether the Taliban had committed to extraditing suspected members of ETIM to China.
The BBC's Celia Hatton. The head of Britain's domestic intelligence agency says Taliban's rise in Afghanistan has heartened and emboldened terrorists worldwide. News and analysis, townhall.com. Britain's economic growth slowed more than expected in July.
The slowdown occurred as concern about the spread of the highly contagious Delta variant of COVID-19 overshadowed the government's decision to end most social distancing rules. The economy expanded 0.1% in the month, down from 1% in June. A survey conducted by Pantheon Macroeconomics shows economists had expected gross domestic product to increase by 0.5%.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. Americans are less positive about their civil liberties today than they were a decade after the 9/11 attacks. That is the bottom line of a new AP NORC poll. Far fewer now say the government is doing a good job of protecting rights such as freedom of speech. Once again on Wall Street this hour, stocks mixed. The Dow down 107 points, while the NASDAQ 10 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Get on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is, thank you, Sheriff. Happy birthday. He's on the phone. See you, Charles. Awesome. Good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. He was looking. Sean was paying attention because I saw him looking. I was going, hour number, and I saw his eyes get big like, oh, is he going to do it on me?
This is it.
Is he going to do it on me?
I'm ready for it. You son
And I
of a gun.
said 3.
You slide
I saw the eyes get
boots.
big.
It's all about body language here in morning radio.
Happy Friday.
Yes.
It's a delightful McDonald's Friday. We got delicious McDonald's breakfast treats. You can have your own. Swing by any of your McDonald's here in town. They got you covered. Go through the drive-thru, the fastest drive-thru in town.
Download the app because they're going to ask you at the drive-thru point of sale if you are going to use your app today. So you can use your app in the drive-thru, get the discounts, and still pay cash.
Very good. Excellent. So swing on by, get you whatever you're hankered for. Maybe it's a breakfast delight. Maybe it's a big old box of nuggets. Or maybe you want to go original, Big Mac. Something that, because like my wife did that just like a week ago.
Yeah.
She goes, I want a Big Mac. I was like, you mean like a burger? No, I want a Big Mac.
Nice.
Not a quarter pounder, not chicken nuggets. I want a Big Mac. I was like, okay, that's what we did.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get the hankering, you know?
Yep.
You got to scratch that itch.
I love the Big Mac. It's a tasty sandwich, but it's always the messiest of sandwiches.
It is absolutely the messiest.
Because
it's not
got
the driving sandwich.
Secret sauce. Yeah, and so I got to dedicate my time when I'm doing Big Macs. I don't generally get that one unless I know I'm going to be here at a situation, and I can focus my attention solely on that and nothing else.
Here's your Big Mac pro tip. When you get home, once you've seated yourself, open the box, but then tear the sides down, take a knife, cut it down the middle. Not only do you get that beautiful Big Mac cross section, a half a Big Mac is so much easier to eat than a full Big Mac.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
Trust me, a much more enjoyable experience so you're not just like stuffing fistfuls of Big Mac into your face. I know the feeling. Now, another pro tip for you. This is something else I did. Went and got myself a 20-piece of nuggets, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I got I got the buffalo sauce and the hot mustard.
Okay.
Kept the hot mustard for dipping.
All right.
Took my buffalo sauce, put all my nuggets in a big bowl, covered them with a plate, put that buffalo sauce inside, tossed my nuggets, gave them a good old
you made
sauced
your
and
own
tossed nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that with the hot mustard. Dude.
Was it good?
Dude.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Upgrade your own, like do your own home.
Yeah. Or just take your own bowl and and like plate in with you and just do it right there in the restaurant. You could actually do it in the container that the big container they give you. It closes.
It does.
Put
you might want to put a
napkin over the top to prevent seepage.
At the folds there, there's some gaps in the holes in the line there that you might see some sauce escape. Or try with your fries.
Ooh, I didn't think about the fries.
Yeah, do that to your fries.
Dang.
Yeah. But anyway, you do you at McDonald's. Do it your way.
That's right.
Anyway, get it going and green chili it up for breakfast. They're still doing the green chili it up. Do it all right there. But thank you to McDonald's. And by the way, they are hiring, including for the new remodeled or rebuilt 6 South Main one that they're still working on. They're hiring for that as well too. Log on to www.mchire.com.
Yep.
What was I going to say? We're going to have Representative Yvette Harrell give us a call here in just a little bit, and we'll chit-chat with her and probably talk a little bit about her trip to Holloman the other day. I'm curious to see what she saw there, and we'll talk about everything going on in Congress and the world right now. So,
just a reminder, tomorrow, the 9/11 car show going to be happening over at Roswell Ford, 10 to 1. And from what you were saying, folks can register up to the day of the show.
For the cars. Yes.
Plan for your vehicle to be there from 10 to 1.
Yeah. Now, the Hometown Hero nominations, that has closed. They're going to announce the winner tomorrow during the event. Please come out for that. Like you said, Sheriff's Department will be out there. I think City.
Mayor said he might stop by for
Mayor's going to pop in for a little bit.
We'll be out there with hot dogs and sodas and getting you guys all fed up. And
Jolly Jumps.
Happy.
And all kinds. And, of course, classic and cool, sweet cars aplenty.
Absolutely.
Lots of categories: lowriders, motorcycles, trucks, cars, hot rods, rat rods, the whole nine.
You're a gearhead, then you come on out. It's going to be a good time. Dude, that was kind of one of the coolest things.
Sheriff's judging. He's one of the celebrity judges. He was telling us earlier that he's a judge.
We were cruising through Ruidoso, and my young lady is a bit of a gearhead herself.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she was pointing out some cars and talking about the favorite one she used to love working on with her dad and her uncle growing up and stuff. And
nice.
It's really cool. So, yeah.
She's tougher than you are.
A little bit, yeah. No, it's come up. It's come up. I'm like, I straight up told her, I was like, I don't know if I'm man enough for you.
Because I know Sean, and we're talking about Funko Pops and stuff.
Yeah.
And now his lady friend is like working on cars and was in the army and
running
I'm like,
guns.
Sean does none of those things.
None of them. But hey, I'm heading out to the range here very soon. I'm not opposed to gunplay. I'm just not good at it. That's all.
Well, good for you.
And she gonna turn me. Don't worry. But it's come up. I'm like, I don't know if I'm man enough for you. Where it counts, my friend. Where it counts.
In the kitchen.
I think what we're all trying to say is stop by McDonald's with 2 locations in Roswell, one in Artesia, one in Carlsbad. Stop by and make sure to download the app to save yourself extra money.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Big thank you to McDonald's. It is 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have high pressure set up over central New Mexico, and that means warm temperatures and sunny skies for us today. A little bit breezy, especially in the afternoon, and our high temperature should be around 100. Overnight will be clear and low 60s, and then around 100 again tomorrow, breezy in the afternoon and sunny, mid-90s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 73 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny skies today and warm. Highs right around the century mark, 99 officially. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 65. Winds out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Looking at the weekend, Saturday, another hot one. Sunny skies, highs once again right around 100, south winds 5 to 15. Sunday, sunny skies, highs around 95, so a little bit cooler. South winds 5 to 15, and looks like we'll be floating in the mid-90s for at least a good hunk of next week. 94 on Monday under sunny skies, 96 Tuesday, Let's see, did they go down to Wednesday yet? Oh, yeah, 92 on Wednesday, 93 on Thursday. So maybe a little cooler, a smidge by the back half of the week. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. All right, it is 9:14. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break. Like I said, we're scheduled to have Congresswoman Yvette Herrell join us here on the phone in just a little bit. So we'll chit-chat with her. But let's go ahead and get that break out of the way, and we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. Name to remember.
Celebrate the beauty of the Southwest during Yucca Blossom Trade Days, September 18th and 19th at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. 2 great days with more than 50 local crafters, artists, and artisans showing and sharing their amazing works. Plus, fun for the whole family, including Zia axe throwing, a cornhole tournament, the Moose Caboose, Mechanical Bull, Gyro, and the famous Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo. And enter the raffle for your chance to win the drawing live on 92.9 The Brand Sunday afternoon. Yucca Blossom Trade Days, September 18th and 19th at the Fairgrounds in Artesia.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
There's never a bad time to break out a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas at home, the office, in the club, wherever. Parties happen with La Poblanita Party Tostadas, the perfect crunch, seasoned just right and ready to get the party started. It's the dippable chip that bites back, the chips that make bland salsas better. Grab a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas at your local grocery store across all of southeastern New Mexico and take the party up a notch with La Poblanita Party Tostadas. They're all that and a bag of chips.
Almost everybody knows the Bible story of David and Goliath. Usually we tend to focus on a couple of things within that story, such as the size of the giant and the courage of David. I wonder if we lose sight, though, of the most important figure in that story. Behind the scenes is David's God, a God who empowers and a God who brings victory. Most of us have some giants that need to be conquered in our own lives. Some of these giants have shown up out of nowhere to test us, maybe even taunt us. Some of our giants we've created by our own mistakes and sin. One important lesson from David's story is that the giant really doesn't matter, but God does. So we face our giants with courage and strength, not because of our might, but because of God's. We stand tall, knowing that victory will come with God and that we will one day see that giant slain at our feet. This calls us to do 2 things. We've got to show up for the battle, and then we need to look up for victory. Our goal at Country Club Road is to help people conquer their giants.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear Renee's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia or Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us on the phone this morning, we have Congresswoman Yvette Herrell back with us. Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I am great. Good morning to you. And before I forget, I understand it's the sheriff's birthday, so I want to get a shout out to Mike and say, happy birthday, Mike Harrington.
That's right.
Have a good one.
He's celebrating his 25th birthday today. Happy birthday to the
Right.
He's actually reversed. He goes, because he's 52 today, but he goes, no, I look at the birthday cake in the mirror, and it says I'm 25 today on the candle.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Hey, that's what I'm going to start doing. No, wait, for me, that won't work out in my favor, so never mind.
Well, first off, how is everything, you and your staff, everybody doing okay and doing well? I know you've been in the state the last week or so doing a lot of stuff here, but how's everybody doing okay?
Yeah. You know what? I'm just so grateful for the staff, and thanks for mentioning them, because truly it is not just a one-person job, you know that, and to have the staff we have in New Mexico and in D.C., couldn't be more proud of the staff, and they are just so incredible. And it's so nice because I'll get emails from people that'll send me something and say, you know, your people helped us with an issue. We've been working on it for a while, and, you know, thank you for the speedy responses and all this. And it's just a testament to our staff. So everything's good, but of course, with everything happening between the open border, between energy issues, Afghan issues, I mean, we're just nonstop busy like everybody, but it feels like every day you wake up, there's a new crisis. You know, yesterday it was the vaccination mandates, and, you know, it's crazy, and I think it's growing. You know, people are growing very weary, and not just New Mexicans. I think Americans are growing very weary of this just rampant mandates and these issues. And I personally feel like they're moving from one issue to the next, so that we stop talking about things that, you know, out of sight, out of mind. You know, I'm probably one of the few. Me and a handful of my colleagues from the border states are still beating that drum on the open border and securing our border.
Yeah.
Of course, it's crazy. We got just so much happening.
Well, you know, and real quick before we talk the border stuff, because you'd mentioned that cause it was in the news yesterday, and I think I saw on one of the news stations they had an interview about the drug, I can't remember the name of it now, whatever it is, the one that you can get that they use for animals on some things. I can't remember the name of it.
Ivermectin?
Yeah, that one. They were asking about all that stuff, and basically what you said was bring it all to the table. Whatever works, let's do it, you know? And they always try to twist it like, oh, well, she's for, you know, self-diagnosing with ivermectin. And I'm like, no, that's not what she said. What she said was, hey, if something works, let's consider it. That's
it.
And I think what you, and you can correct or add to this, but I think at the end of the day, you're just saying, look, you go to your doctors for your healthcare questions and information. Go do that stuff and see what they say. Don't rely on the government or everybody else to tell. Go to the people you trust to do these things and let them do that. And I think that's basically what you're saying, but they kind of twist it to
they did twist it.
Yeah.
And it's sad because they knew I had signed a letter saying just that. You know, I believe that people should, there are a lot of therapeutics and the ivermectin and other drugs and different things that people have used and done very well with the COVID. And on the interview, I said, listen, I think everybody should have choices under their doctor's care or consult. If ivermectin is something the doctor wants them to try and they agree they want to do it, then I think they should have every right to do that. Whether it's that or another therapeutic, that's what I said. I said it twice. You know, under the care of your doctor, if that's what you want to try, I think that's a great idea, because I don't think we should just be limited. And there are some people that are not able to take the vaccine for one reason or another, most notably if they've had a very severe reaction to, say, the flu shot.
Sure.
Then they say, don't take the vaccine, don't take the vaccination. But, yes, of course, they twist it, and they want everybody to think that I've just, lost my mind. But
right.
I said it twice in the interview, under the care of your physician, with your doctor's consult, whatever you decide with your healthcare provider. But
exactly.
Of course, they don't, they never tell the truth. But you do, so that's all that matters.
Well, yeah, I try to. But yeah, I saw that yesterday, and I was like, I was like, I know I got it. And when we were talking about it, I was like, yeah, they just twist the words. And this is that point I've always been telling everybody. I said, that's why you got to look and read between the lines and read between that. It's, yeah, everyone's trying to spin something to their angle, to their agenda, and get you to do that. You got to be able to filter out what's fact from what is spin, and it's very hard to do. And unfortunately, one should not have to do that under something that's quote unquote a news program. But that's the world we live in.
It is, yeah, and that's a good point, because I was saying earlier that earlier this week I actually spent the day in Artesia at the high school. and visited with their government class. And why that's relevant is the questions, it was very open. Kids were asking me all kinds of questions, but I kept reminding them, you can't just believe everything you see on a Facebook post or in even one news outlet, or, you've got to, if it's something you're interested in, really in everything, do your homework, look at the research, look at some other options, see some other ideas, because I said, what happens is, you have one group or one entity or one news outlet that's really pushing a narrative. And I told them, it may be something you agree with, it may be something you don't, but regardless, always try to check the facts and find the truth in some of this journalism, because so much of it now is, like you just said, it's spun a different way, and you say something and they spin it to their narrative instead of what the actual quote was or the actual story was. So yeah, it's good information. People should always try to find the other side of the story, because what they say, there's three sides to every story.
Absolutely.
So that's good that you said that.
Well, speaking of fact-finding, I guess this will be a good transition. I know you got an opportunity earlier this week to travel to Holloman Air Force Base. For folks that haven't been following the news, New Mexico is housing some of the Afghan refugees, and they were brought to Holloman Air Force Base, I believe last week when they started coming in. And Congresswoman Yvette Harrell, you were out, was it Tuesday? I can't remember what day it was. You actually went out and toured and saw the facilities. And so first off, before we talk about what you saw, I'm kind of curious or confused. The refugees that are coming in, are these folks that were the ones that were helping our allies and their families and stuff, or are these folks that were basically at the airport just trying to get out of there and got on a plane? The refugees are here. What's kind of the makeup of that? Is it just civilians, or is it some of the folks that actually were helping our GIs and stuff over there, or is it a combination of both? Or what did they tell you?
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of both.
Okay.
Certainly, obviously we have a responsibility to help the interpreters and those that worked with the coalition forces in Afghanistan. But this happened so quick and so rushed. They evacuated 120,000 people in just a couple of weeks at the most.
Right.
So one thing I want to point out is I did tour Holloman on Tuesday, and the day I was there were just over 2,000 refugees. By the end of today, there will be 5,000. Okay. But the thing that's important to note is Fort Bliss is already housing 14,000 refugees, and they are all being housed in Downtown County. So I say this because this is very important. We have almost 20,000 people housed in the 2nd Congressional District. So I feel very, very, I do need to be leading the charge on asking the tough questions. I feel a huge responsibility to not only the district, but the country. So I will tell you, the facilities are amazing as far as what our military men and women were able to accomplish.
Yeah.
Herculean. And my hat's off, and I am just, make sure kind of your heart swell with pride to see how quick that our American men and women service members can jump into action and create housing facilities for 14,000 people, for 5,000. And that's, I do not want to diminish their efforts, because we really have two separate things happening. We have the local mission, which is incredible, and I'm so proud of it. And it's great to be a part of a humanitarian effort like this.
Absolutely.
Of this magnitude.
Absolutely.
We have the whole vetting issue. And our biggest concern is, I've said in a number of briefings in D.C., we know by the own admission of the DOH that the vetting process is flawed. Mm-hmm. We know people are getting through, and you're right. Some of the people, a lot of the people in Holloman are families. Mm-hmm. Some single men, family units also. And so I'm not saying everybody that came to America is a bad actor. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I am saying that every American deserves to know who's in our country. And it's bad enough we have a southern border that's wide open, which we have no way of knowing. But now we're flying people in. And at the very least, we owe it to the people of America to know who these folks are. And I told them on the news break, or on the news show, our number one priority should be getting every single American out of Afghanistan. The number two priority is protecting every American on American soil. And I understand they're doing some background checks before they get here.
Sure.
They are. But what we're talking about is vetting these people to the extent that they want to give them citizenship status, which those vetting processes take up to 14 months. They're trying to do it within about a 3 to 4 week time period. And here's the thing, you can only vet against the data you have available to you.
Sure.
So unless we have actual access to the databases in Afghanistan, Pakistan, these other nations, we are not able to really define criminal history.
Yeah.
We aren't able to define if they've been convicted of other crimes. And here's what I can point to. Last week, there was an Afghan that came on the plane. He had already been in America once, raped a woman in Idaho, was deported, got on the plane, so they didn't catch him. This vetting, they didn't catch him until he got to Dulles Airport.
Wow.
And they're on American soil. Well, now, because of the time frames and because of the upheaval in the Afghanistan region, we probably won't be able to deport him, and he will probably be released just this week. Wow. They had somebody who got on the plane, I think this was in Doha or Ramstein, trying to board the plane to America, was caught with explosives in his backpack. Wow. So to me, that's a terrorist situation, Absolutely. But that's not what they're going to call it. That's why we're saying, hold on here. And the other thing that's very alarming, the people on the bases are not required to stay on the base.
Really?
So
they can go off base?
They can go off the base. If they leave the base, supposedly, they cannot come back on. But that's just, that to me just speaks concern. How are we going to have
so they can
20,000 people?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was like, so they can literally walk off, and as long as they don't come back, they're good.
That's right.
Wow. That's insane.
And that's what the American people, and especially people in these communities that are, nearby, are concerned with. And I have probably fielded, I can't even think how many calls and the concerns that people are having here. And they should. And they have every right to. And again, I'm so blessed to be in a country where we can be a part of such an amazing humanitarian effort.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I don't want every service member that served tours in Iraq or Afghanistan or served our military in any way, shape, or form, or still serving, to think that their efforts were in vain, because we have 13 new Gold Star families because of a botched evacuation system, and that did not have to happen. But it's not fair. I would rather work on facts and take our time and sort through this and hold the people longer than to just willy-nilly, you can go off the base, but if you leave, you can't come back. Well, we already know there are terrorist cells in the United States of America.
Absolutely.
So what does this mean for the future and the safety of our nation? We are diluting the strength of our country by allowing so many unknowns. And again, I am not saying every person coming to America through Afghanistan or even the southern border are bad guys. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I am saying we owe a responsibility as government officials to the American people, and it feels very much a double standard, because when I was on base, the Afghans are not required to wear masks.
Really?
Yet I had to wear one the whole time we were out there. We all did. Everybody on the tour. I mean, our kids are having to wear them. Now this mandate that President Biden came out with yesterday, this vaccine. I mean, it's crazy, and it truly feels like we're the American people are second-class citizens.
Yeah.
These are the ones flipping the bill for this illegal immigration issue we have at the southern border, for this Afghan rescue mission, for all of these things, and yet we're the ones that are putting more pressure on our small businesses. They're putting more pressure on our students, our schools, our families, our communities, and yet all the while, these are our guests in the country. Mm-hmm. Well, yes, these are not. Well, I wouldn't say our guests. These are people who are fortunate to have gotten out of Afghanistan because
they're seeking
of
a
the
better
strength
life.
of the United States. That's right. But we can't just, all of a sudden, we can't push our constitutional and our American values to the side to placate to everybody else in the world. That's why we're such an amazing country. People come here because they want to identify as Americans. They believe in the Constitution. They believe in freedom and liberty and free markets.
Sure.
That's why people want a better life. But when we start diluting what we're doing in our nation and who's living here, and so just to kind of on that really quick, as far as the refugees, what the plan is and this is from the general, they will be going through a vetting process.
Okay.
They are testing them for COVID when they get here, and there were 14 positive cases on Holloman, which those 14 people were in quarantine.
Okay.
But the plan is to go through, and he told us it's not going to be days, but it will be weeks, and they're hoping to have the 5,000 people, and that number could grow. I don't think there's a set number.
Yeah.
But the plan is to have those people vetted, hopefully by the holiday time frame, Thanksgiving-ish, maybe up to the first of the year, and then resettled throughout the interior.
Gotcha.
According to the general, and I'm not saying there won't be some people resettled in New Mexico,
right?
But I do know there are some states that have already communities of Afghan communities, so there'll be probably a better transition.
Sure.
And so when they leave Holland, they'll have basically citizenship status, work cards. They'll be able to vote. They'll be able to do everything, and that to me is a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for helping and giving chances, but as far as making them citizens and giving them all the rights, I feel like they need to be like everyone else that comes to this country and earn that. Goes with the proper protocols and procedures and things. But you're right. We want to help and we want to do that. And this is where and you're making this point. And this is the difference between what the Congresswoman's saying here. It's like, no, we are compassionate. We want to help these people. We don't want to leave them out in the cold. However, we do not want to risk the health and safety of our own people to the point of death and things like that because of not just disease, but because, unfortunately, wars are fought today much differently than they were when our grandparents fought. The World War IIs and World War Is of all of that, I don't know if we're ever going to see that style of war anymore. The war that we come to now is the war of terrorism, the war that you don't know the enemy. The enemy will come and look like a civilian and then go into a place of worship or a place of eating or entertainment or a large gathering to destroy it, to mess with the hearts and minds to get their way of thinking. That's how they operate. And unfortunately, the only way they can really get a good stranglehold of doing that is through this, letting them coming in as people that are in need and help. And then because they know we, the United States, we're that beacon in the world. We're going to help you first, and we will never stop doing that. As far as we should. That's our job in this planet, to help people. But at the same time, we don't need to sacrifice our own people doing it, and there's got to be a process, and we need that vetting to really to separate, unfortunately, the people that are really in a bad situation that just want a leg up that we can help. We got to separate them from the people that are really working in one of these terrorist cells that are now coming here to be, in essence, an agent for them. And you can't tell the difference when they walk in. They know the stories. They know exactly what questions to answer, what things to say to get through this process. So we've got to be stringent on that, and not because we want to be jerks, but because we want to make sure that 200 years from now, we're still the best country on the planet, and we're able to do these things for them. And anything that it's done from either, the political side here is just people trying to spin that. That's at the end of the day, we want the same things. We just at the same time don't want to give away the farm or put our own people at unnecessary risk to something to help people that most of them, 99% probably, are just human beings trying to find a good life. But that 1% and the damage they can do, because they can destroy empires if you let them go unvetted, will happen. And we need to protect ourselves from that. So we want to protect ourselves at the same time while helping the world live better lives too. And unfortunately, we have two very different ideas from our parties on how to do that, and that's what we're dealing with right now.
And I think that you're exactly right. You nailed it. We both. I think everybody wants at the end of the day the same outcome. But I just think that I would rather be more diligent on the front end than try to sort through it on the back end after something happens and it was woulda, shoulda, coulda. And even the State Department has said we're going to. In fact, they said it this week. Yes, the vetting process was rushed. They don't know that they were able to vet properly. This is after we've already got 80,000 people in the country, and they said we're going to try to catch it up on the back end. But it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing. What makes me so mad. We can't be in such a rush what just irritates me. And I know our service members, our veterans, and those that were actively engaged in the 20-year war,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have to do it the way it was done. And in fact, even in the briefings I've said, and Milley and Austin and Blinken, they all had said, they were telling the Biden administration, we need to revisit how we're going to do this, but there was no willingness to have a different game plan in place. And what's really sad is I said in a briefing with all three of them, Milley, Blinken, and Austin, and they told us on the phone, it was a phone briefing, so this one was not classified, but they told us they had gone through and looked at every possible scenario. Well, no, they didn't. Because if they looked at every possible scenario, we would not have lost 13 members of our military.
You're absolutely correct.
It totally blew up, and they knew it. And instead of saying, we're wrong, slow down, we placated to the Taliban's demands. At least President Trump had conversations going, and there were benchmarks. Everybody had to agree to do certain things. It wasn't just we're out. And now we're sitting here right now today. Our staff is still working on trying to get a couple of Americans out of Afghanistan. I can't tell you on this phone call right this moment if they are still alive or not. The first of the week they were, but I don't know today if they are or not. So the stress, it's a daunting task.
Yeah.
It's very hard to work with the State Department. We're working with private entities now. We're aware of 7 jets that are there waiting, but now the State Department's holding that up. I mean, there is a lot going on, and it's very stressful, and our staff has been incredible. And we are still getting people contacting us that are still there. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
And it's awful to be sitting here getting messages, and a lot of them are even more kind of cryptic, and just, they're hiding. It's just crazy. So by all means, yes, let's be that nation that can lend a helping hand, but let's not put ourselves in harm's way because we were too hasty in trying to do something. And you're so right.
Yeah.
It looks very different than it did, 50 years ago, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
We've got to be more diligent. And I told the general, I said, they were only able to tell us, they said there were 38 interpreters in that group of 2,000. We asked specific, who are the other people? And they did say some were family members of service members, fine, but they could not really tell us who all was there. They could not tell us how many special immigration visas were on that base. They should have been able to tell. They're vetting these guys.
Sure.
They know. They could not tell us. They really waffled on the hard questions. And that's why when I walked off the base, I did give credit where credit was due in terms of the local mission.
Yeah.
But I said, I am still walking off of this base with more questions than answers because we have to put the safety of the American people first. And it's just crazy to think that we've now brought, of the 120-something thousand people that came, we know there were only, what did they report, 5,000 Americans? So like you had asked me earlier, who are these people?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just families? Is it, so we have to be very diligent in this, but what my fear is our administration is just jumping from one crisis to the next, and suddenly we're not talking about, the Americans left over, that are left there.
Sure.
We did send a letter, myself and 38 other members of Congress, we sent a letter to President Biden this week, and we asked pointed questions because as Congress people, the best answer we can get on Americans left in Afghanistan are between 200 and 9,000. Well, that's just crazy.
That's not even a good number to get, or ballpark number. That's
right.
All over the place.
Right. So we're pressing on how many are left. What does the communication look like? Who are you talking to? What is the game plan moving forward to bring every American home? And then the next sets of questions were very specific to the vetting processes. We know, like I said earlier, DOH has said that they're not without flaw. So how can we ensure the safety of the American people? And it's just a litany of really good questions, and we sent it this week. And 40 members of Congress signed on to it. So it's not like just Yvette Harold, the only one cares. Every American cares. Every veteran that served cares. Everybody that's paying attention cares. And no one is saying, look, we don't want to do this. They're saying we simply want to do it in a way that we can feel safe in our own communities. And I told the general, it only takes one. It only takes one to bring devastation upon one of our communities. And we need to be not setting ourselves up for another 9/11. We need to be, we're better than that, and our Americans deserve more than what they're getting right now.
And the part that I think, me personally, that really kind of bothers me the most about this kind of thing is, like, you have yourself and other senators and representatives, beating this drum and banging this message out. And the part that makes me the mad about all this is what they do is yourself and every person that are beating that drum to that message, saying, hey, we want to help people, but we got to be careful here, and we can't just give them the keys to the kingdom and say good luck to you, because the moment you raise, hey, that's a security problem, they instantly paint you with the brush of you're not a humanitarian. You want, and that's what makes me mad, because that's dirty pool. That's not, it's unfair to call someone not a humanitarian because they don't agree with you. And that's,
our governor's staff, our governor's staff calls me racist.
Yeah.
Because I want to secure the border, because we see the 900% uptick in COVID cases coming across the southern border. And I don't think it's fair that our students are wearing a mask in school, or our parents don't have a choice to make as to whether their kids wear a mask, get vaccinated, whatever.
Yeah.
But yet I said this, it wouldn't eliminate all of COVID for sure, but it certainly isn't going to hurt. And if we're that worried about the health and safety of the American people, then why isn't this administration on the state level and on the federal level immediately shutting down our borders? I mean, if they're so worried, and this is why American people are going to start getting into a place where they're going to really start standing up for their rights. It's a double standard. We're going to mandate these, every company mandates the vaccination over 100 people. But, oh, by the way, we'll let over 200,000 people come into our nation. We're not even going to test them. I mean, this is what people need to start getting a fire in their belly about. We are destroying the very essence that makes America great and American exceptionalism. And this is why it matters right now to use our collective voices. And you're right. I'm going to say to TV what you and a bunch of other people are thinking, and I'm going to be attacked. But you know what? It's worth it. Because I know I talk to enough of our constituents, I talk to enough New Mexicans, and it doesn't matter the party. I'm talking to a lot of people every day, and they feel like I do. And I'm just blessed because I'm the one who gets to be on the radio or gets to go on Fox News or gets to go, and use a bigger platform.
Sure.
So I tell people, hey, when I'm getting attacked, they're really attacking all of us, because I'm just the one with the microphone. But they're attacking every one of us that have these same concerns and these same shared values, and this worry for the future of our country and the future for our children in this country.
Absolutely. It's we're running short on time, but I want to point that out. It's I know yourself and many, and this is really when you talk of the conservatives in Congress right now, it's almost like for your 2-year term, it's almost the mantra or the job, the task that you guys have been handed is basically you've got to hold down the fort and keep up a resistance long enough for the next election cycle in to hopefully get some more people to help you fix some of these policies. I mean, I kind of feel, and I think you and I talked about this at the beginning, it really is turning in. That's what this term for you is kind of turning into, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And, and I still am so grateful to be there. And every day I wake up and just thank God that I'm here and I'm able to do it. But the midterm elections are going to be critically important for the entire country, because honestly, that is the best hope we have to be a backstop until we can change the president, until we can do things. But between the House and the Senate, there's real opportunity in 2022, and that's why it's going to matter.
Yeah.
But, people are saying all the time, impeach. Listen, nobody wants this president gone more than all of us.
Sure.
But the reality, like we talked earlier, Nancy Pelosi will never bring articles of impeachment up on the House floor for a vote. So while that's a good message and people can raise money off of it, whatever,
it's a hollow.
It's not going to work. And I would rather, instead of being, and to me, I don't want to be disingenuous. I'd rather be honest and say, look, we're not going to be able to make that happen. So what's plan B and C and D? Let's push in. Let's get engaged. Let's write letters. Let's, use our collective voices. Let's get involved in these local elections coming up in November this year and next year. Let's hold the line. Let's file some class action lawsuits. Let's hang on to our freedoms. But the idea of impeaching, and everybody wants it, but it won't work. And number two, even if it did, is Kamala Harris who we really want? Because it's not like you're going to just be able to impeach 3 or 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
So we do what we need to be focusing on is what we have control over, which is our local elections, which is showing up at meetings, which is writing letters, voicing our concerns, being the voice. And I think there are some very good people, like our office, working on behalf of what the general population wants. So write letters of support, push against this governor.
Absolutely.
In fact, 2 governors have already come out since yesterday and said they are not going to follow that federal mandate on every company over 100 employees must mandate the vaccine. DeSantis did it, and Kemp did it. Of course, New Mexico is never going to have that happen.
Right.
But we talked earlier, that's never going to happen here.
Sure.
But it still doesn't mean our country, our state, isn't worth fighting for and pushing back on.
Well, the best thing that we, the people, can do is, like you said, we got an election cycle coming up here next year. Local elections are very important. It's not just voting for who goes to Congress, but who you vote into our state legislature, who you vote into your county commissions and city councils. Those set the table for what's going on here. So please, do your homework. Do that. Please, these local elections, don't sleep on them. Don't be like election day comes and you're like, oh, that guy had a lot of signs, I'm going to vote for that one. Please do your homework. Do your research. In this day and age of internet and all that, almost every person that's running for any kind of office has some kind of website or place that you can at least learn their principles and values and start there and then work on from that. And you vote the way you feel in your heart is right. That's America. But the one thing I ask of any person that's going to go pull a lever in a booth is please don't go in there uninformed. Don't go in there pulling levers. Everyone keeps saying, rock the votes and all this. I'm like, only rock the vote if you know what you're voting for. If you don't, keep your butt at home.
Right. That's right. And I said this to the kids, then just real quick, because I know we're very short on time. But I said this to the kids the other day at the high school. There are a lot of groups out there, and it sounds great, and it sounds like, wow, they're going to save the world or whatever. And I said, do your homework.
Yeah.
I said, because oftentimes what you're hearing about, what they're pushing sounds great, and it really resonates. But once you find out, I'll give you an example. There's some outdoor conservation groups.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know friends that belong to them because it just sounded like, wow, they're going to protect wildlife and forests and all this.
It sounds
they
wonderful.
don't know. Yeah, those are the very groups that we're fighting against on this 30 by 30 and on public land access. I mean, they have an agenda, just like BLM. There was a gentleman that came out, I can't think of his name, from Michigan or wherever he was, remember, just a few months ago, that said he got all involved. He was a main guy because he thought it truly was educating inner city youth, giving African-American children a better way forward. And he was all bought into it. Then he started understanding, well, this is the front for defund the police and a number of other things that are not good for America.
Absolutely.
And he bailed, but he got caught up in it. And that's what I told the kids is don't get caught up on all the bells and whistles and if it's something you're passionate about, make sure that if you're going to spend time and energy and money and within an organization, that it truly is doing what you want it to do, what you think what your thoughts are, your values are. Because you're right, people just hear something and go, oh yeah, that's awesome, and they jump on the bandwagon, and there you go. So, but anyway,
there are so many bad laws that got put into place. Yeah, so many bad laws got put into place on state, national levels because of what the Congresswoman is exactly saying right there. So do your homework.
Do your homework.
Is there anything you wanted to mention that we didn't get a chance to talk about before we let you get back to the 20,000 things you got to get done today?
No, I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Always fun to visit with you, and I'm glad you're back and healthy. And
thank you.
I hope Mike Harrington has a great birthday, and I'll just look forward to visiting with you again soon and kind of keep you involved and in the loop on what we're learning and doing on the federal level.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ma'am. As always, appreciate the updates. It's always great to have a conversation with you and keeping us up to date. And look forward to our next one. And I can't wait to when you're able to pop in for studio and we can have a face-to-face visit.
Sounds good. We'll do it. Awesome. Well, you have a blessed weekend, and thank you so very much.
Thank you for your service and appreciate it. And good luck. Stay healthy and tell all the staff we appreciate them too.
I'll do it.
Awesome.
Okay, good deal. Thank you.
All right,
okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Congresswoman Yvette Harrell, and I had a great conversation with her. If you missed any part of that, you can go back and check it out, ksvptv.com. All right, quick news update break before we wrap up the show. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update. I'm Jared Cirillo. First off, the city of Roswell looking forward to making the next UFO festival better than ever. And the planning begins now. The city calling on all citizens, from business owners to community service organization representatives to government leaders to every other resident, to take part in the discussion of ideas and aspirations at a community meeting to kick off the planning process for the 2022 UFO Festival. The meeting will take place Wednesday, the 15th at 5:30 p.m. at the Roswell Convention Center. A message on the Artesia Police Facebook page says the animal shelter has been closed. There are no drop-offs available, and pickups must be arranged with animal control officers by calling dispatch at 616-7155. No adoptions are available right now. Artesia Police say they'll post more information as it becomes available and when the shelter reopens. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have high pressure set up over central New Mexico, and that means warm temperatures and sunny skies for us today. A little bit breezy, especially in the afternoon, and our high temperature should be around 100. Overnight will be clear and low 60s, and then around 100 again tomorrow, breezy in the afternoon and sunny, mid-90s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. Inflation at the wholesale level soared last month, rising 8.3% from 1 year earlier, the steepest annual gain since the Labor Department started calculating the 12-month number in 2010. Facing big hiring challenges, some of the country's leading employers going to great lengths to sweeten the pot for would-be employees.
The battle to attract and keep quality employees is heating up as e-commerce giant Amazon has announced it's offering 750,000 hourly workers in the U.S. the chance to enroll in a fully paid bachelor's degree program after completing 90 days of employment. Industry observers say that not even the $15 minimum wage is enough to retain workers these days.
That's correspondent Ken Lormond on Wall Street. Stocks mixed at mid-morning. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
Big O Tires is celebrating its Carlsbad location's 1-year anniversary with big savings. Now through September 30th, get $50 off sets of 4 in-stock Big O brand tires. Up to 150 in tire rebates from brands like Goodyear, Pirelli, Bridgestone, Hankook, and General Tires. Plus discounts on oil changes, alignments, financing options, and more. Stop by either Big O location for these big deals. 4212 National Parks Highway in Carlsbad or 1305 North Main Street in Roswell. Installation charges extra. Eligibility may vary. Disposal and local tire fees extra. Up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price. Not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store and rebate forms for details.
we serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. Closing in on 9:59. Got a lot to tell you in a minute here because we got a lot going on this weekend. Of course, Piñata Fest, all of that's happening. Don't forget, today is the last day to register for the fall fiesta fundraising dinner for the Historical Society. To get your orders in for that event on September 30th, please. Today's the last day to get those in. Go to roswellnmhistory.org, history director at outlook.com, or even call the Historical Society at 575, where's the number? 622-8333. Also, don't forget, Roswell High Band is doing their march-a-thon around Roswell High. They're going to get underway tomorrow morning about 8 or so, and they'll go to about 11. If you see them out and about, help them out. They're fundraising there. Also, don't forget, American Legion family, they're going to have another work day out at Memory Lawn Cemetery this Sunday beginning at 8 a.m. All that would like to come and help participate, they've done some great stuff out there. Looks good since they've been doing work out there. But all that happening. All right, we got to go. Have a wonderful weekend. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.